Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
Little delay there.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Greetings. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier. First one of 2025. Man, what a crazy year it's been. It's 5 days old.
Truly, it's been wild so far.
Rare on this for this show do we get like breaking news and something that's current event. Usually we're looking back on something, usually a few thousand years, sometimes 10, sometimes 20, not just a few days ago. And that's what we're gonna do. We're kind of going to do it on FNT, and we just didn't. It's not like we didn't want to. So we're gonna go down the rabbit hole of the Tesla truck explosion, a little bit in New Orleans. We did get some news today from New Orleans, which was lots of very strange coincidental things that could be, I mean, plausible deniability. As always, the government's really good at that. Totally not connected. It's just a coincidence.
So very connected in some weird ways.
To
coincidence.
To quote Jakar from Babylon 5, the future isn't what it used to be. So things have gotten a little fucking strange, and we're going to talk about it, especially when gravitic propulsion is brought up. Everybody's trying to poo-poo that one. I'm like, whoa, that's the one I focused in on completely. I'm like, that's why we're going to talk about it. So everybody's like trying to distance themselves from this one. I'm saying, let's embrace it. Let's embrace that. Let's talk about it, because I have been very skeptical that we have that technology that's been put into use, put into practical use. Of course, the military will be the first one to do it. Now I'm not so skeptical.
Yeah.
Now I'm not so skeptical. I don't think we can poo-poo one part of a note and take another one as gospel, right?
Right.
I just don't. And we'll get into that stuff. Thanks for being here, everybody. Before we introduce our wonderful hosts, we do have a sponsor. Do you want me to bring it up? Gamer Subs. I have not game streamed at all yet because I was hanging out with my family. That's going to change.
All right.
It's going to change very soon. But I was hanging out with my family, doing a lot of stuff. It was lots of fun. But we do have a gamer sponsor, Gamer Subs. Gamer Subs has a new cup?
It is a new product line.
Line. It's a product line.
Ooh.
Called Finger Bang.
Finger Bang.
No, I never wanted to say this ever on a stream, but I really want the Finger Bang cup. It's so cute.
It's pretty good.
It has ears.
There's no fingers involved. Like I need more fingers involved.
I don't see any ears. I'm seeing
There's ears right on the turn. Right on the top. Right
I can't. Up at the top. I didn't even notice the top.
Hey, Adam, you can be forgiven for not noticing the ears at the top when we're all staring at the anime titties. Okay.
Yeah. I was looking at the tits. It's true.
Even pixelated.
I see it. Finger bang. I get it.
Pixelated anime titties. Fine.
Finger bang.
I have more anime titties for you.
It dropped on the third already.
Back it up. Oh, there we go. Nice and clear. All right.
Finger Bang from Gamer Subs, the exclusive, not so exclusive sponsor.
Yeah, that's also good.
Nerdrotic Gaming. When it happens.
Wait, I got one more.
We got one more?
One more booby cup.
All right. That's a lot of boobies.
Boobies.
Yeah.
The thing that can ultimately bring us all together as a society.
It really is.
I think is boobs.
Did you get your finger bang cup yet, Gary?
I don't know. We got a huge Christmas thing from Gamer Subs that Melissa.
He definitely got finger banged.
Like takes it immediately.
Oh,
Those sweats look dope. I got.
Actually look pretty good.
I'm just noticing them now. Like those are dope. Those pants. I would rock the shit out of those.
Mm-hmm. Around the house, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 55. I rock sweats and shorts around
With
my house.
anime titties on them.
With anime titties on them.
Absolutely. I mean, right?
All right.
Mm-hmm. So, if you want to get your finger bang merchandise, go to Gamer Subs. Link is in the description. Use code Nerdrotic.
Oh,
Gets a discount.
to get finger banged yourself.
X-Ray Girl, you could boost your audio a tad as well.
Go get finger banged. In fact, finger bang your family.
Finger bang the whole family and your friends.
Maybe just your wife. It's all right.
I don't have one.
Well,
get Mark to finger bang you. Wait, sorry.
Moving on now.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Moving on to some very serious. It actually is like
topics.
It was
true.
It was a freaking downer, right? It was a total downer. I know, like to start the new year with two very strange things, and you know, of course, thoughts and prayers to all the, like so many kids died, like college kids
In New Orleans.
lost their life for no fucking reason because some police chief and some idiots at fucking New Orleans decided not to put up the barriers. They just decided not to put it up, and I don't think that gets talked about enough. They could have, and they didn't.
Good point.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
I don't believe they're hard to do. They don't cost extra money to run. You
they're
just pull them out of the ground.
For that reason, it sucks that the barriers have to be there. We live in a society. We live in a society where barriers have to be in places like that, and they just decided not to do it. Okay, that's one of those things where you go, "What the fuck?" That is your. This was pre-Sugar Bowl, so this is where they're having the Super Bowl. By the way, is New Orleans? They're having the fucking Super Bowl there, and they said they were working on them and they weren't fixed. Some bullshit. How could you not have them done before a major event like the Sugar Bowl, right?
Yeah,
right.
And you're waiting till last minute to have them done before the Super Bowl. Well, that's the government for you. That's why we should never rely on them. That's why we should, for the love of God, not rely on them to give us health care. I'm not saying our healthcare system sucks, but they're not the answer. It's confounding how that fucking happens.
There's every day I wake up and I look into the news. I look on X or YouTube or wherever, and it makes me realize how much we need to bring back mental institutions. This is another one of those reasons. Like you said, we live in a society that we need this shit, and it's like, well, it wasn't always that way. There was a place that we put people that were crazy, and there's a lot of crazy people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so for the most part, we're supposed to take care of them.
I feel like there were probably good mental institutions.
Yeah, they get overshadowed by the bad ones.
Exactly.
Well, things like churches used to handle some of this stuff too.
Yeah,
and religion has gone down in this country, so that's why a lot of that stuff isn't getting handled. They handle a lot of charity. For recovery, for what I'm in, there's a bunch of high-priced fucking bullshit rehabs, but the one that worked out the best was the one that was created by two dudes, completely nonprofit, private nonprofit organization called AA, which is the most successful thing at getting people recovery, and the percentages are still very low, but it's the only thing that's been consistently successful, and that was two God-fearing men put that together. So we have a lot to fix. That's why when Trump won on the 5th, it was the beginning of the fight. That was not the end of the fight.
True.
That was the beginning. Yeah. We are at the beginning stages, and hopefully we can make it to when he gets sworn into office and not like alienate people and certainly talk about issues, but don't run people off. But talk about shit because it's fucking important that we be smart about this. We got to fight smart.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of
and that's one of the
fighting going
things
on right now.
That's one of the things that is to the right's detriment. They will take something like a win and always fuck it up.
Fuck it up. Yep.
So like, let's
purity
not fuck it up.
Like,
exactly. Let's not fuck it up.
Yeah. You're not going to agree. We have a loose alliance of people.
Yes.
And the way the left has won is that loose alliance they have kept together by keeping their eye on the prize. The problem with the left is they will cancel each other who go out of the limb. And I think the right is better at just having a debate and not outright fucking telling people to fuck off. So, but
it can happen, and it's a danger. So we need to be,
because the vast majority of people are in the middle.
Yeah.
And you need to keep them around. You can get frustrated with them or whatever, but like, you're trying to win hearts and minds. And if you're going to try to win hearts and minds, you got to be a little understanding. Like, you know what, on some shit, we're just not going to agree. But let's maybe, I don't know, stop wars, close the fucking border now.
Yeah.
And we can definitely have an H-1B visa argument.
Let's have a discussion
next year, 2 years from now. Let's fucking stop the wars first. Okay.
Yeah. And protect our citizens. I think ultimately now we've come back to this.
Citizens, stop
these
the
two
fucking
events.
wars.
Protect our citizens
to death. Stop all that fucking shit. What the strange crossover with this one is, it definitely brings in like conspiracy UFO stuff with that note. Like, it definitely brings it in, and you know, I can hear some UFO guys going, "We have been talking about this shit for fucking decades, and
talked about it last week.
Been listening." That their misinformation is a term created by the government. Conspiracy theory is a term created by the government. They have infiltrated UFO events. They have sent government agents after UFO investigators to drive them off. If it's such a bullshit subject, why has the government spent so much fucking time trying to drive people away, trying to literally drive people crazy? They've done that too. Drive people to suicide. Oh, and a lot of coincidences with people dying, stepping off the street, getting hit by a car, very, very weird ways to die. And certainly there are some accidents. Certainly they aren't. I don't believe in coincidences. The fact that these two things happened on the same fucking day means something. I don't know what. I don't know.
Just that they ordered. Is this true? They ordered their rental cars from the same service.
The Turo app.
They served on the same base. Was that verified?
Yeah, I mean, like that one, like Fort Bragg, a lot of people go through. They did, but a lot of people go through Fort Bragg.
What was the time frame? I'd like to know. What
thousands and thousands of people have gone through Fort Bragg. But I don't know. They weren't there at the same time.
Okay.
Turo, Melissa sent me a message. She got everybody who's ever used Turo got a message from
an update.
Got a message from the CEO. And
really?
I'll read it real quick. Give me just a second.
I find it interesting. This is just completely, unconnected. I don't know. But a lot of shootings, radicalizations, massive events where people die, why are they all coming from like Colorado? You notice that?
There's something weird about Colorado. There's a weird type
Denver
of
airport.
Is it the air?
Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but like,
there's a weird
anytime
kind of
you hear that shit, it's somebody from Colorado Springs.
If you want to talk about the
shooting,
radicalized left regions in the country, the top 5 is Colorado and the Pacific Northwest. That is where you get the most radicalized leftist fucking commies come from, those two regions.
It's such a shame because Colorado is so beautiful.
Yeah,
it is. It really is
such a beautiful state.
Yeah. Okay. A note from CEO Andre Haddad. I don't know if he's H-1B visa or not. He's a CEO.
I was going to make a joke about it.
Turo, personalized to my wife. Hi, Melissa. It's been a couple of days since the horrific attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas shocked us all on New Year's Day. We've spent these tense, mournful hours investigating, partnering with law enforcement, and working around the clock to figure out how our platform could be misused by the proprietors of such atrocities. Thinking about the victims and their families, I'm shocked, saddened, and more than anything else, just simply heartbroken. The stories are crushing. Their loss is unfathomable and unfair. This is already better than the Allstate CEO. Can I say that? I can say that.
You can say that.
Thinking about egregiously the two individuals perpetrated these heinous crimes, abused our platform. I'm outraged. These individuals had valid driver's license, clean criminal backgrounds, and were decorated U.S. military servicemen. On our honorable discharge, one was honorable discharge, the other one was awarded the Global War of Terrorism Service Medal, and one was active duty Green Beret. They could have boarded any plane, checked in the hotel, and rented a car or truck from any traditional vehicle rental chain. We do not believe these two individuals would have been flagged by anyone, including law enforcement. But of course, these two tragedies have made us look inward at our trust and safety. Our track record and date have been strong. Blah, blah. It goes on and on and on.
I think it's fair. I think it's a fair assessment. Like, these guys seemed to be model citizens, weren't from the outside on paper. Done. Yeah,
like they're going to go after Turo, and believe me, the establishment rental car agencies are going to go after Turo. Turo's a good app. Like, it's fine. It's, you got to be careful, like with anything, but it's like Uber or anything. You can rent a car from anybody, and I like these kind of apps. I love Airbnb because it puts the power to you, and you can like make money off your property. You can make money off your car. I think this is great. This is great disruptor for the union. Basically that gate kept, you know what, who could have invented Uber? Yellow Cab could have invented Uber, but they didn't. Like this is, I don't think we can blame it. My wife uses them. We're going to continue. I'll use them. Like I'll use Turo.
I just find it, I don't think it's a Turo issue. I think you're totally right. Like, it's not their fault. They could go out and use any car service. I think it's just interesting that it was the same service. They used the same one.
It is.
If it
because it's
crazy
easier.
Conspiracy, if it is connected in some way, if there were some kind of connected cell thing, would that be in the training to use that thing? Because, I don't know. It's just strange coincidence for them to both use the same thing. I've never heard of this app. I never used it before. I've rented cars when we do trips. Never used this thing. So I've never heard it until this scenario. So I think it's why it's weirder for me.
Yep. Kind of want to get it.
Now I've never heard of it.
I might rent a Cybertruck when I go to Florida.
You could rent a Cybertruck and just like Matthew told the owner. Matthew told the owner he was going to the Grand Canyon to do a camping trip over the weekend. So like, you can just take other people's cars outside the state and just it's
pretty cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
This is a lot of free advertising for Turo, basically,
and Tesla. Really, like that damn truck was. Whoosh, that did not. It didn't disturb the infrastructure of the truck
shape
itself. The shape was pretty much there, and none of the glass in the hotel was shattered.
So
that's a pretty damn good truck. Like,
the Sean Ryan. Who did Sean Ryan interview again? I forgot his name.
Let me see.
Samasar. Fuck, what was his real name now?
Sam Shoemate.
So that's made the rounds. I watched the whole thing today, and they, like, within that podcast, if you didn't listen, there was a clip that went around, but if you listen to the entire podcast, they address the up-to-date information, everything in there, including signature change, all this stuff. So I think we should kind of build up, talk about, for those of you who didn't, definitely watch the whole interview. And there's a follow-up interview that X-Ray Girl can share on Twitter under Forbidden Frontier. Audio's off. The host has like super low audio, but it's a follow-up.
That was so frustrating to listen
where they addressed.
Sometimes when shit is like coming in and you got to do it emergency style.
It's hard. It's hard.
Stuff doesn't work.
So
it's a good follow-up though.
It was, because it addressed all the information up to that time that wasn't available during the Sean Ryan thing. There's that fat Ukraine fat dude out there, like saying they're all full of shit. Have you seen that guy? Odin's Man did a video on it. That guy's a fucking op if I've ever seen one.
This is all Russian disinformation.
Everybody's Russian disinformation. Fucking God, let that fucking thing go.
Dude, okay? Still with that.
You know what? Yes, the Russians do ops in America. So do the Chinese. So do the Ukrainians.
So do we.
Real. So do we.
We probably do it more than anyone else.
Honestly, yeah, we
in
kind of
America,
like originated
on
it.
Americans.
So does Iran. So does they all fucking do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Japan.
So
They
do
all do
you want to go through like a timeline of the
Yeah.
events? Kind of like break down what happened. Adam, you wanted to start with drones.
Yeah, well,
I think that's fair. It's a good start.
I think we got to go back a few weeks because we
Yeah.
we were on and off doing the show, and this whole drone thing was going on, and we've been talking about UAPs, UFOs many times over the past year, and it felt like we needed to talk about this New Jersey drone event that was happening. I mean, it was going on for here we go. And a lot of people were like, well, everyone's got a drone. I got a drone, they're fun. But these drones were not the normal drone like the one you just saw.
This. Not the
that's,
DJI,
DJI
Osmo or
something.
It's not one of those.
Yeah, whatever.
Or
Like,
Mavic,
that's a
I think.
normal drone.
Well,
That looks like
so
that's a pretty
and they
nice
were
drone, actually,
clearly drones. They were not UFOs. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll just,
right.
as
They had
somebody who was
lights,
a big
FAA.
enthusiast who believes in them more than these guys, they were
Yeah.
clearly drones.
Yeah, obviously
Okay,
drones.
Oh, I thought they were just fucking drones. That's all. I just thought people were freaking out. It was a bit of a hysteria. They were seeing planes. There was some video where it was clearly fucking planes landing, and I was like, okay, this is kind of. Believe it or not, a couple 3 weeks ago was a slow news week. I know that's crazy,
yeah,
coming off of what was not a slow news year, but the hangover kind of was still in effect with Trump's election, but it was kind of quiet. Like Trump stopped doing rallies. The news was licking its wounds. People were getting ready for the holidays. So it was kind of slow. So it got a lot of coverage. And I thought at first it was bullshit. And then we got more and more. Then we got more information
about it.
This is an article about the locations that the drones were seen.
Oh, okay. Because it was just a list of where they're banned
That's just a list of where they're banned. Yeah.
in Jersey.
Oh, well, they've been banned now.
Just like drones are restricted. I don't know if
Yeah.
this is
So
is
go on,
this
continue,
about the
Adam.
thing
So
that just happened? Sorry,
tell us
I
what you
didn't
know
mean to
about
cut
the
you.
drones, Adam.
Well, I mean,
Or you
they
think.
were huge, weren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
they were not normal drones that
They were not consumer.
the
drones,
average
no.
consumer can go and buy, right? These were obviously something different. I did hear reports that they were moving erratically that were a little different than regular drones, but I haven't seen videos of any of that. So
Sean Ryan's guest said something very interesting when he's
Right.
talking about the drones. He said, listen, I wasn't believing him anyway, but then I talked to some of my guys and I talked to a sheriff, and the sheriff said, we sent our own drone up to go after it. And this is a sheriff drone, so it's not like a government drone, but it's still a decent drone. And that thing just whipped away. They couldn't keep up with it at all. And we were hearing a lot of these were erratic and big. So, I mean,
Size of a car. We were
size of a
hearing
car. That's
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. That's government drone. That is government
Right.
size, government grade drone for sure.
military,
Who's military though?
right?
That's the question. We heard from the government. We don't know what it is. We're investigating. We know what they are. They're operating legally. To
Lockheed.
Okay, what is it? We never got a straight answer.
Probably isn't even the military. It probably is not the government. It's probably like Lockheed or something working for the government. So it can't be FOIA'd. It's behind a private wall that we can't access as citizens.
Yeah,
My Trump came out and said they know what they are.
Yeah,
The military. Oh yeah, the government knows. They're just not telling you.
yeah.
It's like
My theory
Well,
on
what
it
does that mean?
was in the modern day and age, if we get into a conflict with another entity that's at our level, right? It's going to be over towns. It's going to be over cities. It's going to be a lot of places like this.
Independence Day.
And we're seeing out of like the Ukraine, Russia, there's a lot of drone usage. They're using drones in a bunch of new ways.
True.
And China's picking up on that. And I'm sure all the other countries are picking up on it, and we're picking up on it. So they're more than likely developing their own drones, and they have been for probably 10 years, ever since the drones have really been taken off.
Where do you think all our drones are made? In China.
So this is possibly a military testing. It's like a war games thing, or they're testing out how they could maneuver around these cities, what they could pick up, how they could track people. Who knows? That could be why they're not telling us. Or
it could be China.
Could be China.
China flew a fucking balloon over our entire country, and we didn't shoot it down until we absolutely
let it fly.
Now I can understand there are legitimate reasons not to shoot them down over populated areas. They could be filled with payload, right?
Yeah.
So if it is a foreign drone, it could have a payload in it. That's incredibly dangerous, and then we'd be shooting it. So therefore, we'd be the one that would be dispersing the payload.
Whatever it is. The payload,
so
right.
there's that. That's legit. Okay. But otherwise, if they're over water, like there's a certain point where you have to do something. And the fact that our government didn't do anything. Remember, this is Biden. We're still in the Biden regime, who didn't shoot down a fucking balloon.
Actually. I forgot that that's actually the case.
Yeah,
and that's something
not in office. We are under a corrupt regime right now.
Incompetent, severely, not just corrupt. I totally, completely corrupt, but severely incompetent. And it seems from a lot of like military that I hear, people that military, ex-military that make content now, it's completely incompetent. The whole chain, all the way up to the top. And Matthew, in his manifesto, that's one of his points, is that we're completely incompetent.
Yes,
I think that's what he's trying to warn us about. That's what the ultimate message was.
Incompetence get used by the powers that be, which basically control all the third-party contracts that go to BlackRock that Eric K brought up in the chat, Lockheed, who are very competent. Very
they use that incompetent smoke.
Competent.
They use that incompetent smoke as a screen so they can do whatever they want to do without they're dumb, they're stupid, they're dumb. One person just needs to be good. Right. And know what they're doing and manipulate.
The people behind the scenes have to be good.
Well, people behind the scenes
have to be people behind the scenes. It could be
so many guys, whether you agree or disagree, like David Icke, who I think is like legitimately, he comes up with some good stuff, but he's also fucking crazy. But like
he's entertaining though.
He's entertaining, but like he and Alex Jones, who don't like each other now, they used to get along great, but he and Alex Jones and many others have pointed out over the fucking decades at this point that that there's some very smart people who can easily control, based on plausible deniability, the general malaise of the public, the low information of the public, who will not believe this stuff or refuse to. I always bring up Douglas Adams' cloaking device for a giant ship on a cricket yard in London, which the cloaking device it's called a somebody else's problem field, which means they can clearly see the ship, but it's so alarming to their worldview that they're going to choose to ignore it because it's somebody else's problem. That's exactly what a lot of America has had due to our comfort, our creature comforts and stuff. And we have been rocked into this reality over the last 4 years of understanding that all of our worldviews, no matter how paranoid some of us were, we weren't paranoid enough. We were not paranoid. I talked about it on Twitter. You should always have a basic level of universal paranoia
distrust
as you go about your life. As you go about your life.
True.
Okay. Smart. And because shit can go down so fast and change so fast. I watched Homestead, the Angel Studios movie, right?
Oh,
I liked.
Was it good?
It's faith-based, has a faith-based ending. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's got Neil McDonough in it.
Yeah.
And it's about somebody blows up Los Angeles with a nuclear bomb. It's and then they take out the power grid on the East Coast. So they do strategic targets to just wipe out the power in the United States. And they don't really tell you how it's done. You get to see one bomb and then you hear some ham radio reports, but you know that everything's falling apart around you slowly. It's over months, right? And people are turning on each other, and how easily this could happen. and they even address with the fact that like the teenage kids are taking selfies still and like kind of goofing around. And there's one like military dad who's like seen this stuff before. He's like, "No, stop doing that shit. Like shit's about to get real. Like stuff's about to go down." And and the whole theme of it is like at some point you have to have a faith in humanity because it's going to fall apart and people are horrible to each other, but you have to be kind of kind at some point too. Because the military guy is like, "No, fucking kill everybody who's not us," you know, and they're like, "Well, maybe that's not the way. Maybe it is. I don't know." But that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to lead into a series. Sorry to go on a rant here, but it kind of pissed me off.
It's fine.
Angel Studios, I love you. But they go,
continued.
"Hey, this goes into a TV series." So you get 2 episodes, right? And they're really good. Like they're really good.
Yeah.
And they're all, and if you want to see they have preview of episode 3. And if you want to see episode 3, if you donate $11.99, we'll start making it. You know, it's like, God damn it. No, make a full season and do that. Like, come on.
Right.
Come on. But it was actually like well made and well done. And like I'm not a Christian. It did none of it offended. Like I'm not a fucking puss when it comes to that stuff. When I see faith-based stuff and prayer and stuff, I'm fine with it. I'm totally cool with it.
You're like a vampire, like
no, I know I'm not. You know, it's like my mom. It's weird. I have 2 moms, so I have a Lutheran mom and a Catholic mom. So I'm very familiar with religious and all that stuff, and it doesn't bother me at all. And I thought it was pretty good. Thought it was pretty good. So good that I got frustrated at the second episode. But the point is, like, shit can go south so quick, and if we don't think that shit could go south before Trump gets in office, don't believe that.
Yeah,
don't believe that. Our power grid is very susceptible to many things. A lot of our transformers are above ground, right?
Yeah. There's like 2,500 hydroelectric dams that have like a 50-year shelf life that are 60 years old.
Yeah, that are too old. Infrastructure
they're just crumbling away. So I mean, that alone powers a lot of America.
Well, here in Texas, what did it take for them to do some shit? It took the power grid to completely fail. People died,
dying,
right?
Yeah,
and now we're gonna have probably the best fucking power grid in the country because they're redoing the whole damn thing, and Texas has their own power grid, and like the whole if you live in Texas, the whole fucking state's under construction. The entire
always
state.
It's always
it's freeways.
It's always under construction, really.
But I mean, so is California. But it's like this. It's about 5 times what I've ever seen in California. Like 5 times easily. Like every freeway is like being rebuilt and they're redoing everything, and that's good. That's good. But we can't. We live in a different world now, so we can't just like sit on the couch, turn on the fucking broadcast news and let them spoon feed us bullshit and go about our lives. We have to now search.
Good.
Sean, yes, I think it's really good. Sean Ryan talked about like, I don't know where to get news now. That we're almost in a better position. Yeah. It's better to like, okay, now I know I can't trust anybody. So now I have to search it out. And hopefully I find somebody authentic, and that's completely up to you, the individual, is the way it should be.
It's tough to find. It's tough to find. Like on this, really I was looking up articles. I was trying to a video on YouTube. I typed in, Tesla explosion story, and it was just page after page after page of CNN, NBC, Fox. I was like, I don't want to see any of this. I don't want any of these shitty news reports of surface level crap. I want to see somebody break down the timeline.
I know Twitter's getting its bumps right now, but I think it's growing pains. I think it's good. I think people need to work this shit out. And
it's still better than it was.
It's fucking 1,000 times better than it was.
Still annoying.
Adam wouldn't be on Twitter right now. I wouldn't be on Twitter right now.
So true.
And I'm tame, and I wouldn't be on Twitter right now. So and Quarter Black, yeah, he wouldn't be on Twitter either. But
skirt
right on girl would be.
No, he's a Quarter Black. He's fine.
We could all use extra
patch.
But Twitter was so much faster. So I was watching Fox News right during all, because I was kind of locked in during all this shit, right? And I'm watching Twitter break news an hour, sometimes a couple of hours. I'm watching Benny break news 2 hours before Fox News. Like when Elon's tweet went out going like, "Hey, we looked into the truck," which I mean, I already have this is why I'm not going to buy a fucking Cybertruck ever, but I love Elon. I love the looks of him. The whole, like, you can record me fucking charging the car and every moment in the car, like, fuck that. No.
So a lot of people came out and said, because I was like, anybody else concerned about the fact that they are recording you in your car and they can retrieve it? A lot of people are saying it's on a hard drive on the car that can't be retrieved except by you or somebody after. But still, my
NDA.
It's connected.
That's total bullshit.
It's connected to the freaking network.
1,000%.
Right.
Okay, I worked at Tesla. They could access your fucking car. Okay, the mechanics, when you take your car in, they will look at your fucking video. Okay, so
yeah, so like it's still connected to a network. It's still connected to their network. They can pull the video. I'm sure they can. Obviously, they were able to pull the video from this Cybertruck because they found him charging up his car and all this stuff. So yeah, I just don't like that. Okay, I don't like any of that. I'm going to drive my jalopy for forever.
If there's a way to, like, if it was a hard drive in your car, fine. If I actually believe that, fine. Because if you're stuck, so especially if you're in an electric car and you're in the middle of fucking Wisconsin, which an electric car in 16-degree weather is not a good idea anyway. But it like for safety, sure. But they're all linked, dude.
Bro, what was it, 15 years ago or whatever? Like Progressive car insurance came out with those commercials where they're saying, put this little chip in your car and it will record your driving habits and you can get a discount on you. I was like, fuck that shit. So I will take the hit on it. I don't want you watching me because I drive too fast.
That chip started showing up in cars in 2012.
And then they started just putting them into the car.
Yeah. So that's why I just get older cars. And well, that's why I haven't bought a new car because I don't need one. But it's
they do it with your phone now. They offer it, at least in Canada, where they're like, if you take this app, we can get a discount on your car.
Well, that's the thing they talked about on the Sean Ryan thing is like your phone knows fucking everything.
Yeah, it knows everything about
you. As we're talking about this,
fingerprint,
like,
your face,
it's recording me right now. I can back up this podcast with this recording from the phone that I didn't ask for.
Yeah, I drove.
We're in a new age, man.
Oh yeah, over the New Year's, I drove to Malmo and I had my phone up, and I just GPS, and it shows me exactly like when it shifted to a different speed limit, it had a little thing that would instantly change the speed. Like so I can always just look at my phone like, what's the speed limit here? Oh, okay, there it is. And right next to that is my exact speed. And I'm like, it's constantly red. And I'm like, I don't want you to tell me
I live in the red when it comes to speed,
like,
buddy.
Stop it. Like, don't tell me that I'm speeding.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Part of it, like personally, like most of it is I'm not that paranoid. I don't have fucking anything to hide. Like if you want to really, I like Ryan's attitude. If if the Chinese really want to spy on me going on eBay at 2 a.m, it's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But it's the point of it is like when you have that much, I'm just not comfortable with people watching me being able to watch me charge a car or something like that. I'm just not.
That's not what you were about to say. I heard something different.
That's what I was.
You're finger banged.
If I'm finger banging my wife, I don't want anybody watching. All right.
Yeah, my finger still hurts.
Oh my god.
All right, that's for us. Maybe some personal. If they can at least share.
That's a personal time
for personal use. I'm fine with that. But
the camera's on the whole time.
So the Sean Ryan, I thought it was really good, right? I saw like some people clapping back on it. I thought it was a really good, interesting interview. I thought they talked about like the intelligence realm. I thought that it was good to get some insight on that there's different facets to it. He's like,
and also there's some dumb people there.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said retarded. That's was his exact word. He's all retarded. And it sounds to me, well, okay. So I'm gonna go back to a book called The Day After Roswell by Philip J. Corso. Yeah. Okay. You need to read this book. Not just because of the Roswell stuff, which is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. There's also a B story in it of the creation of the intelligence agencies and the rivalry which wasn't. It was a straight up war between military intelligence and then the citizen private intelligence. And of course, both of them want to control it. But the source of this ire, the source of the division, was infiltrated by communists. So the CIA was infiltrated by communists on day fucking one. So that's something that Philip Corso gets into, and I think that's like that. I knew a lot of the stuff from his interviews from Art Bell. So when I read the book, I'm like, oh, this shit's even more interesting, you know. And you hear the creation of these intelligence agencies, and that's a rabbit hole that we could do an entire fucking show on. But that rivalry is still there. It still exists. The CIA are largely citizens. I mean, the CIA hired Tom King. Tom King, the shitty writer for comics, was a CIA recruiter. And look at this motherfucker. So if they'll hire fucking, you know, mommy issue retards like that, then like what else do they have? Right. So I've never liked the CIA, never been a fan. They're not supposed to really operate here. They are operating here. And I'm not.
Do they do anything other than that? I mean, other than start foreign wars, they do that.
It's for national security, guys.
They overthrow countries. That is their fucking primary purpose.
Every country.
Install leaders
who will be puppets.
Create power vacuums.
Not to the American people, not to America, to them.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're CIA assets. They're CIA assets in every major corporation. They're CIA assets in. We talked about it last week in Hollywood. They're full of shit, and the FBI is not far behind. So we have this. We'll start out with Vegas. We have this. I can't pronounce his name, but we have this active duty Green Beret,
Matthew,
kill himself for symbolism,
allegedly.
Supposedly, here the line now, which has changed, is he killed himself because his kid wasn't his, which we don't know. He killed himself because of war crimes in Afghanistan, which I think is fascinating. I think those things happened, absolutely happened. And he just wanted to do a spectacle. He didn't want to kill anybody. That's why he used a Cybertruck. That's why it was just fireworks. It was for spectacle.
Given his training,
Trump Tower,
he should have
hurt a lot of people. So it was definitely a message of some kind.
Did you find Benny's video? So we've seen the video of the car driving in and blowing up, and it was clear. You know, the media ran with Tesla Cybertruck catches on fire.
Right.
The same media that said a truck killed people in New Orleans, not a person driving the truck. A truck.
And it wasn't a terror attack. Even though there was an ISIS flag on the truck.
Oh, don't even get me started on an FBDEI agent out there with your nose ring. What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
what a joke!
Like I said, that dude,
captain was fucking a joke. That was a
in that the like 80-year-old old lady. What the fuck?
Like Chick McConnell. That's what I was calling her. Is Chick McConnell.
What is this? But like back to the citizen journalists. Like if we didn't have citizen journalism and we didn't have X right now, we would still be like, what happened to that guy? Was it a terror attack? I don't know. We're waiting on their information, and we got the information instantly. It was somebody took a picture. There's the flag. It was on the truck, straight from the event to us. No middleman.
No, real quick before you get to that, I'm sorry, I lost it in the chat, or I'd highlight it. Somebody talked about John Brennan. Yeah, look into the background of John Brennan, who ran the CIA. He was a communist. He was a communist in fucking college.
What happened after World War II, man? I feel like we had World War II and we were so focused on that, and we like took our foot off the gas and like just didn't think about what we were doing. And then just communists came in and just fucked shit up. What the hell?
So the same media that said a truck killed people said the Cybertruck caught on fire, but everybody watching it saw that the blast clearly came from the truck, from the back of the truck. Okay.
Yeah. And it was fireworks. It wasn't just like it caught on fire. It was like there were fireworks. It was a major explosion.
So in my safety in my safety training at Tesla, that we talked a lot about battery fires and what happens during battery. Most of it is just fucking run. If it gets too bad, just get the fuck out, because that thing's going to burn for a long time. They're set up. Well, they're lithium, and there's compartments, right? So it's not supposed to all go up at once, but they will if the accident is catastrophic. But they will catch on fire sometimes. That they absolutely do. Lithium batteries do that. That's why they don't let you store them for in planes. You know, that's why it has to be carry on if you've got it like a vape or something like that, because that shit can catch on fire. And it would come from the bottom. It's almost 100% of the time, because the battery's on the bottom of the car. The battery, if you're not familiar, of a celled battery on a Tesla is the length of the car. So when you change a battery, and this is what I literally did at Tesla, this was a lot of my job, was you lift the frame of the car up, and the battery's on this like stand, and I went and got my forklift, and I went and got a fucking battery, you know, in the storage, and I pulled the battery up, and the thing's fucking huge. It's the length of a car. And so the fires come from the bottom all the fucking time, all the time. This was like first time I saw it, I'm like, that's not a fucking Tesla catching on fire.
Mute it.
So in this 15 to 18 seconds running up to them, he was supposed to have shot himself in the head, by the way.
That's wild.
That's fucking crazy. And the fact that like any other car. So for one, this guy was a guy who could have blown up that entire fucking building. Like he could have made a bomb that could have blown up that entire building. Yeah. Any other car with that, the bed would have blown out. That, like, if it was a Toyota truck or something like that, or a Ford or a Ram, the bed would have blown out. The fact that the bed didn't blow out was kind of amazing.
It's true.
So yeah, that's what, after this happened, everybody scrambling for information. What happened? Police say he shot himself, ended his life with a 50 caliber handgun, I would assume, in the car. Get a rifle in there. And now we have this footage.
Footage later shows the moment explosives were detonated, causing the truck to explode out.
See his
you could see his head.
You could see him move.
You could see him move. Right,
literally the second it happens.
Right there. No, go. Did you go to Benny's video? Because Benny's video slows it down at the end. But you could see that dude is alive. He is clearly alive. Oh, by the way,
it debunks the whole cadaver, because people are thinking that the dude put like a dead body and he's still alive. Like he had Tesla drive it up.
Well, that's the thing, is your Tesla can go park itself. It can go park itself. It can do that.
Yeah. Can they drive? My camera's frozen because of the video. Can they drive with a sleeping passenger, like a sleeping driver? They can.
Oh yeah, people have taken. It's not advisable, but people have taken naps in their little auto drive thing. I would never ever.
I thought there was like a safety mechanism that would stop it, like it could detect if you were paying attention.
They might have fixed that by now, but like I know I talked to people who took little naps while they were driving their Teslas.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
Bro, like, yeah. I mean, I know
like,
the technology
he moves his head. He did not kill himself.
Yeah, I know the technology is getting. I know this.
Prior.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I have a question. There's this whole talk about the DNA of the cadaver doesn't match his son. Like the DNA they found doesn't match his son's DNA.
Yep.
Now
that was a military source who said that.
Okay, so there's two angles. There's he did this because he's upset that he found out his son isn't his, or it's actually not him because the DNA doesn't match because it is his son.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Which where you leaning as far as this DNA stuff? Because it could be either way. Like it's not. I don't his
believe
body.
The government.
I think they're trying to give. To me, my first instinct, Adam, is they are trying to give motives for this to obfuscate facts.
The things that he brought up.
know.
Good point.
And it
Yeah,
kind
I
of
agree.
feels like they didn't want to say anything. Like we don't know. Listen, I'll just say this to keep us safe. And because it is possible. This could be a guy who's suffering from PTSD. He's he changed his meds. He became suicidal.
Like 3 days
It was
prior.
a little erratic.
Okay.
If you look at his drive, he went to Las Vegas.
Well, let me finish here.
To the wrong Las Vegas. So
yeah. So he was erratic behavior. This has happened before. People have killed themselves who probably never wanted to because they changed their fucking meds because psych meds are evil. Mm-hmm. They're incredibly evil. They're incredibly dangerous. And I've seen the bad effects. I have lost a friend over fucking changing of psych medications. Right. So Tom Cruise had a point with that whole stuff. Remember when he got a bunch of shit back in the day when he said psych meds are just fucking evil? Yeah. He was fucking right. But
so true.
So let's put that out there that this is all possible, that he could be upset, PTSD. He's responsible for the death of a lot of people, and maybe just because he's a human that got to him. And it's tragic. It's ultimately tragic that this guy did so much for our country and probably got treated like shit.
And he has a newborn. Like he has a son that
born
he just
last year.
He just left behind.
Yep.
It's messed up.
Oh, that's tragic.
It is. It's all tragic. Or this is a guy who's Sean Ryan mentioned who's seen his friends die right next to him and feels like maybe they died for nothing. Like that could upset somebody. I think that's plausible. The fact that it happens
nothing
on the first,
they killed people that innocent people, right? And then they died. So it's even worse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's like PTSD. Like I was definitely talking to the unsubscribed guys about this and stuff, and having suffered it. They were very kind because we talked about PTSD before we started recording, and I had it for like well over a decade after prison, right? And I'm like, well, listen, I'm not going to try to compare mine to combat. Okay, I don't want to disrespect anybody comparing what I went through in prison to fucking live rounds buzzing by your head, watching your buddy fucking get vaporized right next to you. I'm not, and the kindest thing they said to me was, and I think it was really cool that they said this, was like, we don't compare PTSD. We don't. PTSD is PTSD. I thought that was a really nice thing to say, but it's still not comparable to me. Right. And it's very serious. And we put these guys through a fucking meat grinder. And if they come home and maybe there's some solace in like, our fight was worth it. Our fight was fucking worth it. I'm fighting for freedom. I'm fighting for every day, for our children, for our moms, our sisters and stuff. But when you come back from Afghanistan, you're like, what the fuck were we doing there? Like, what was our point? Oh, minerals. We were trying to get minerals. Like that's the only reason we were there.
Or poppy fields.
And poppies.
Control the
Air America shit. Like,
trade on the planet. I mean, there's that whole angle.
There is. So
I might drive you to rent a car, drive it into the parking lot of the front drive of a Trump thing, just because of sheer spectacle that will get the message out of what he's trying to say.
Yep.
So this was spectacle, but
nobody got hurt, right? It was only him.
7 people got slightly injured.
Minor injuries.
I think that's by design.
It was by design. This is a testament to the truck. I'm sure those windows at Trump Tower were all reinforced too. There's a guy, I'm pretty sure you see the door open, right? If you can find the older video, there's somebody walking. I could swore I saw somebody like walking, like a door almost opening. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but yeah, 7 people got slightly injured.
Only that lady that was like standing there.
There's somebody standing here.
There's somebody standing there, but I thought I saw the rotating door. If you go all the way to the left, maybe not, but
there's a couple of bystanders here. There's somebody on the other side of the glass here, and there's like a bellhop.
Normal bomb kills all those people and blows out those fucking windows. So it was not meant to like hurt anybody. He did end up hurting people, but it wasn't meant to. It was meant to be a symbol, and we can take their word for it. So you clearly saw in that video, dude's alive. Whatever dude is in there is alive. Now imagine, let's go crazy conspiracy. Imagine he's knocked out. So remember, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. He drove through Trump Tower and then went to the Sands, went to another parking lot, hung out for a little bit, and then drove back in. What if something happens to him there? What if he's knocked out? What if this is him coming to?
Car drives him in front. Boom. They did say it was a detonator, right? So
yeah. Now it's hard to tell if that is detonating from the back of the car.
This looks like the interior of the car, like his passenger seat.
But that could be blowing in from the back, right?
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert, obviously, on this shit, but dude's alive. Let's see.
You see him move his head. Like, that's the wildest part. Is like, okay, where did you get 50 cal from? Why are you telling us that information if that is clearly not the case from this footage?
Tell us about that, Garrett, because that's what the news was running with. They showed a gun.
They showed a gun.
So the police, the Las Vegas police, showed a gun. Many were saying it's 50 caliber, which is a cannon. If you watched Reacher, Desert Eagle, he's using season 1. He's using a Desert Eagle 50 caliber. Let's see if I bookmarked that correctly.
So he's moving there in that moment. The bomb goes off. He then, even through being dazed or probably damaged from obviously a bomb going off in the car, or if it was just fireworks, or if, was it just a black powder kind of, or like ninja vanish powder, it's all just smoke and mirrors. It's not actual damage. And he survived it to then shoot himself right afterwards.
And I don't know.
And why would that add to his message? Wouldn't surviving it and being able to interview and talk about everything and like why kill yourself? Because people are still going to talk about it, whether or not he survived it. I feel like it just doesn't make sense for him to then kill himself. What was the reason to do that? It doesn't change the severity of the message, I think.
Yeah. Unless it was a suicide, a self-deletion.
Right.
And that was the goal, at least for himself. To also send the message that he's trying to say that we've done all these horrible things. There's a way we could end it.
I'm going to share
that
this
makes the
real quick.
most sense, actually. Then
here's a 50 caliber
to self-delete,
shooting a watermelon.
Some historical watermelons.
They're historical.
He wouldn't have a head.
Not what we saw.
Yeah,
that is not what we saw in any way.
They're kind of
explosive.
They're a little OP for handguns.
OP. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was in that vehicle sort of vented out and up, but it didn't even damage the glass doors at the Trump. So I'm not sure what that means. I also know that there's a number of unexploded pieces of the things that he had inside of that vehicle. And so I just don't think that it was done as well as he was expecting it to be done. But go ahead.
Sofia Rodriguez with Univision Vegas. I was wondering, were you able to recover the video from the Cybertruck, or was that destructive?
So the question is, are we able to recover the video from the Cybertruck? And many of you may know that those Cybertrucks contain a tremendous number of cameras. Mr. Musk has sent out a number of his folks that will be arriving here this afternoon with the intent to try to capture the part of that captured all of the video from inside of the truck. Sir?
Just quickly, you had mentioned a number of the components in the back of the truck that did not go off. Maybe this is a better suited question for ATF, but when it comes to the rudimentary nature of the bomb, I think we mostly think of a bomb that is connected. This seems like individual kind of incendiary and combustible components put together. Can you speak to how you think this is a bomb, or was it just several pieces of things that might blow up and might explode that were just lit and gone off at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it does appear that it was, I just want to be careful with my language here, but
I don't trust this guy at all.
Well,
Just want to
Who is this fellow?
No idea. I don't trust him. I don't like the look he's got. Nothing.
That suit is. I'm not into
It looks like a garage sale in suit form.
He's like a car salesman. He's trying to look flashy or something.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That same energy.
Get that feel.
What is this, Queer Eye for the FBI guy? Come on.
Is this the FBI? Maybe.
I don't know.
The level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. That most of that the materials inside that Tesla were fuel to help fuel a greater explosion. But it's too early to answer any question is if there was sophisticated connectivity to those components to make it ignite in the way that it did.
Well, it ignited. It killed that guy. And then, I mean, he got burnt beyond recognition. Well,
but because if he killed himself with a 50 cal, then he survived.
He obviously didn't kill himself with a 50 cal because his head was still attached to his shoulders.
Where the hell did they get that then?
I don't know.
Like, how the fuck does a news media run with that story?
Maybe he just had one in his car. I can like, if he had one in his car, but we were hearing bullet wounds to the head.
Insane.
But that's the thing is like these authoritative sources get shit wrong all the fucking time. But then there's the notes, right? The notes that were not I think it's extremely fishy that the IDs were slightly burnt and all that. And that reminds me of the IDs that they dug out of the 9/11, which was, I mean, let's look back at that and how
we found their passports.
Likely was that?
What?
How
what do you mean you
is
found
that
their passports?
Possible?
This isn't the FBI.
Should be made like passports if they survive.
It melted the steel.
How about, can they make the planes like the passports,
but not passports? God dang.
Right.
So this is not the FBI. This is the local authorities that are investigating. This is what he has to say.
Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. His body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation 100% that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle.
And that was at the time.
That was at the time.
Didn't they find this new manifesto that's like unsinged nearly? Can you see?
See if you could find that. I know about what the messages that were sent to
got the email.
Sean Ryan mentioned that like Rogan should check his emails, like everybody should check their emails that has a big podcast, because he probably did send them some stuff. But the stuff that was sent to Sean Ryan's guest was incredible. Like, and like they neither guy wanted to get into the UFO thing. They like back the fuck away from that, because they're like, that's crazy talk. But like, we'll get into it. I'll get into it all fucking day long. I don't care.
So I have both. This is just his statement on the podcast and what had been said on there. I have the email that Sean Ryan's guest got, and I have the official manifesto that they released. So here, let's hear him.
Behind you.
Kevin Knives with NBC News. How would you describe his state of mind in these final days, given everything that you read from his notes app and the manifesto that you see that you referenced?
So the official manifesto that we're getting is the notes app in his phone, on his body in the car. That's the official manifesto.
still up in the air that it could have been from him?
So the question is, how would I describe his state of mind in the manifesto that was described on the podcast? Have we been able to determine whether that was from him or not? And I'll answer the first part is I'm not comfortable giving you state of mind just yet. I certainly am leaning a particular way. But again, I'd like to be factual to you. I think when you read the documents that we're going to give you a link to at the end of this press conference, that you can go in and make some of your own assumptions about what that is. But I will tell you that part of my hesitation on that is I know that we have a lot more documents and number of things for us to uncover. And so I want to be able to provide to you only the factual information when I have it. And so I'm not going to opine on what I believe his state of mind was at that particular time. But certainly you can see some troubling aspects in his personal life as well. And I don't know if you want to address the second part, Spencer.
Yeah. So in terms of the so-called manifesto,
FBI,
Fed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's circulating online, we have strong evidence to suggest that it was the subject that wrote it, but we haven't conclusively proven that yet. And that evidence relates to other evidence that we're finding that we're able to compare that lead us to believe it was in fact him who sent it.
Okay. So officially from them, it is more than likely the case. So this is his phone, where they got the app from.
It's pretty crispy.
Pretty crispy.
Crispy phone. But that fire was burning for a long time in that car.
We like to go through it.
Okay, so this is the message he sent to Ryan and his guests.
This is not the email. This is what was on the Notes app. This is the official manifesto released at the end of that press conference.
No shade to Sean Ryan at all. By the way, he did a great fucking interview with Randall Carlson. Go watch it. But we are the United States of America, the best country people to ever exist. But right now, we are terminally ill and headed towards collapse. We are crumbling because of lack of self-respect, morals, and respect for others. Greed and gluttony has consumed us. The top 1% decided long ago they weren't going to bring everyone else with them. You are cattle to them. I don't disagree with any of this so far.
So far.
We have strayed from family values and corrupted our minds, and I am a prime example of having it all, but it never being enough. A lot of us are just sitting around waiting to die. No sunlight, no steps, no fresh air, no hope. Our children are addicted to screens by age 2. We are filling our bodies with processed foods.
So far, everything, yeah.
Our population is too fat to join the military, yet we are facing a war with China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran before 2030. We must take these actions if we're going to make it past the next few years in one piece. We must end the war in Ukraine with negotiated settlement. It is the only way. Focus on the strength of winning. Masculinity is good, and men must be leaders. Strength is different, and fear is the product. Oh, sorry. Strength is a deterrent. Because I'm retarded. And fear is a product. Weeded out those in our government and military that do not idealize. Number 2, the income inequality in this country is cost of living is outrageous. The number of homeless on the streets is embarrassing and disgusting. Have some pride and take care of this. Stop obsessing over diversity. We are all diverse, and DEI is a cancer. Thankfully, we rejected the DEI candidate, and we will have a real president instead of a weekend at Bernie's. This part, like, while we agree with this is sounding like they put that in there, but that's
this
a little bit. Yeah.
So far though, this feels like Ted Kaczynski if he joined the military instead of became a professor at MIT. You know what I mean?
Well,
like a lot of points being made, and they're pretty valid so far.
Yeah. Well, they're valid, but they want to affix these points to this person. Is that, I mean, we have to think about that. Okay.
It's the same racist narrative. You call somebody a Nazi because everybody agrees Nazis are bad, and you connect them to bad thing. People believe that you are now bad.
Remember,
that's not true.
Over the last couple of weeks, a lot of people put together some great compilations on Twitter showing Joe Biden and other members of his administration parroting the term like the biggest threat to domestically is white supremacy.
Right.
Which is clearly not true. We must move on from the culture of weakness and self-enrichment perpetuated by our senior political and military leaders. We are done with the blatant corruption. Our soldiers are done fighting wars without the state or clear objectives. Well, since technically we haven't fought a war since World War II, they've all been police actions or something of that sort. This was not a terrorist attack. It's a wake-up call. Americans can only pay attention to spectacle and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives? Why did I personally do it now? I needed to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took. Consider this the last sunset of 24 and my actions the end of our sickness and a new chapter of health for our people. Rally around the Trump, Musk, Kennedy, and ride the wave of the highest hegemony. Hegemony? Did I get that word right? I've been kicked out of
Maybe.
the highest most, okay. For all Americans, we are second to no one.
And then the last page.
Fellow service members, veterans, and Americans, time to wake up. We are being led by weak and feckless leadership. Absolutely. Who only serve to enrich themselves. Military and vets move on. DC starting now. Militias facilities and augment this activity. Occupy every major road along Fed buildings and the campus and the Fed buildings by the hundreds of the thousands. Lock the highways down with semis right after everyone gets in. Hold until the purge is complete. Try peaceful means first. But be prepared to fight to get the Dems out of the federal government and the military by any means necessary. They all must go, and hard reset must occur for our country to avoid collapse. That last part you didn't hear a whole lot of in the news, did you?
No. So just to clarify, for the bot that's listening and analyzing our transcript, we are reading this for educational and news purposes only.
Informational, or I mean, you can decide for yourself as an individual.
I have some questions.
We need the other
here.
one now.
This does not seem to be coming from a place of someone who is suicidal. He's a father. He clearly has a vision for the future, right? It's like a hopeful, like he's like, thankfully we got the right president. We're on the right track. Like we need masculinity. We need to be leaders. It's like, then you're gonna kill yourself. Like that's the road you take with that kind of speech, that kind of energy. I mean, I guess, but it doesn't make sense.
Do you know there's people out there who
I don't know.
Don't
if he did write that.
There's people out there who don't think the culture war is real. There's actually people who do not believe it's real. Like it's absolutely real. Razorfist put it together. Culture war has been going on for a long time. It's just, it's an open war now.
That's what the CIA was doing with the Cold War the whole time. It was all culture. It was all a culture war. And it just went quiet for a little bit. Came back.
So in the podcast, which again, I recommend everybody watch beginning to end. They mention that in the messages, the guest said he had to delete because he was asked to delete, but and I don't think this was part of it, but he did say that he intended to go to Mexico. But all of this had to be read, and he was trying to get like a hold of Fox News. He was trying to get a hold of Joe Rogan. Yeah. He wanted this all done before the 1st, but he did say he intended to go to Mexico.
He tried to meet up with was it Sean in Flagstaff, which is on the route. If you see he tried to meet up with him, tried to give him all the same information. We didn't go into this, but he knew Tim Kennedy.
Yeah, he was in a reality show.
He was on a reality show.
Kennedy just did an interview saying, "Hey, he was a good guy. Like he was a solid guy."
And they asked all his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriends, and they say he's a good person. He's an upstanding, honorable man. Yeah. So here's the email that Sam Shoemate got the guest on Sean's podcast. So here's the full email. Yeah, he was going through. He contacted Sam through, was it Instagram or something? It was a public
LinkedIn, maybe
LinkedIn or something like that.
Instagram, because it was in
Instagram,
his
you're right.
like not the hidden, but it's not in his direct messages because he doesn't interact with it.
And then he wanted to go through Proton Mail. Once he got the confirmation that Sam got the message in Proton Mail, he told Sam to delete the conversation that they had on Instagram. So he's like covering his tracks, so he didn't want paper trail.
Yep.
So this is the email. Here, I could zoom in a little bit more.
It's a little blurry, but I'll do what I can. In case I do not, excuse me, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until January. Okay. And keep my identity private until then.
1 January.
Yeah, 1 January. Maybe it's a military thing. Maybe I don't know. I've never been in the military. So
military guys in the chat
you
sound
do the
off.
European form of saying the date, but whatever. I wouldn't read too much into that. Or not. I think you should read a lot into a lot of this.
I think it's a little weird.
Identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. Now, I've seen some stuff on internet saying that that was not his first car, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if any of this is true. Somebody said yes, they do day, month, year. Okay. Gotcha. Checks out.
Thank you.
Thank you, chat. Always chat. Check. Keep it as fact checking.
Always.
What we have been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have the capability. Our OPSEN location, I have no idea what OPSEN is, for this activity in the box below. So
Operations Center, I think, is where
maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what Sean said in the interview. OPSEN was the operations center.
Okay. And we know that one of the operation centers is Groom Lake. So Bob Lazar's talked about this. Many people have talked about this. We have been working with, I fully believe we have crashed alien technology that we have been basically trying to, the word's blanking on me right now. Damn it. But
reverse engineer.
Thank you. The term reverse engineer for years. And maybe they cracked it. One thing Bob Lazar said was they would bring people in every 5 or 10 years to try to, figure what they had out. And they basically, all they could ever do was turn it on, but they could never control it or really figure out what that propulsion system was and how to replicate it. Maybe they've found a way to replicate it, which would be, if that is true, that is incredibly dangerous because of what he mentions here.
Now, I find it really interesting. The last manifesto, the official one that was on his phone, no mention of any of this.
Yeah.
No mention of drones, no mention of UAP,
so
no mention of any
this could very well be them trying to inject misinformation.
But this came before this was all before it happened.
Yeah.
So it was a preventative thing. Like they were setting it up to lead into this event, right? Because this happened when was this email sent? Go back.
This was December 31st. December 31st date on Tuesday, December 31st.
So the day before. Right? Because it was
and they definitely said his signature had changed from his phone.
That was after the truck blew up.
Yeah, there's
on the signal.
So the signature changed after the truck blew up. That is important to point out. Why? I'll leave that up to you, chat. But the government is famous for sprinkling, you have a little truth, and it's not sprinkled, it's completely surrounded by lies. So they have their plausible deniability, right? And they can steer people off because, like, people just, like, even they said this, like, this shit sounds crazy. But as the chat pointed out, what Bob Lazar was referencing is almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
So it's been 40 years. That's almost half a century.
Imagine what they got now.
Yeah, imagine what they've got now.
Bro, what have we been talking about for like a year, 2 years now? All of this. With the David Grush stuff, with all this new UAP stuff coming out, this is what we've been talking about. This very this specific thing, like military level technology.
Well, like, this is the good thing that came out of those very fucking boring UFO hearings. The good thing is, the only takeaway is more of the public is aware of the bullshit that's going on, of all the stuff they wanted to answer and couldn't.
Yeah.
And couldn't. So there are answers. There are answers to this stuff. What they are, I'm sure, will be. I mean, there's some people who probably just figured it out already, but they're never going to confirm it. They're never going to confirm it. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As for now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloon for I can't read that word.
For SIGINT
and ISR. I don't know if those are like abbreviations or just misspelling. I don't know. Which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. So what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned AC, they are the most dangerous threat to our national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it. You can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. USG needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or the FBI, and they are looking to move in on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive VBIED or VBED, a vehicle, a fucking car bomb. And you know, they had to point out on the podcast that the FBI guy they were talking to about this didn't know what that abbreviation was.
Yeah.
And Sean Ryan's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You know, it's like
the FBI, they should know.
Yeah, this is the FBDEI. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during the airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the administration, the DOD, the DEA, and CIA. DEA?
DEA?
Yeah. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civilian casualties that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. US 4 continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called them war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. Which administration?
Yeah.
Because if it's 2019, that's Trump's.
Yeah.
That's Trump's. But we all know, and listen, maybe Trump knew, but we also know that half of his administration was working against him behind the scenes.
Well, I just want to point out, General Milley is on record saying he held information from Trump. So the military was holding information from the fucking boss
like this
of the military. Yeah. It could have been this. Who knows? Like they didn't want to keep him involved. They didn't want to.
And this
they
would
didn't
be
want him
why
looking into Ukraine. There's a lot of things that, like Trump was hamstrung by everybody around him.
Well, Adam, you said earlier, why would he want to, self-delete? Maybe he didn't have a choice.
Well,
he went on his own terms.
He makes it sound like that. Basically, the military-industrial complex is running itself. They probably don't share most of the stuff with the president, especially one like Trump, who is an outsider, absolute outsider. That's why they fought tooth and nail, tried to kill him to keep him from going into office.
Well, and he made it very clear that he didn't want to be the world police anymore. Yeah. Why are we sending our military everywhere? Why are we expending money for other countries? Well, the military doesn't want to hear that. They're like, no. We like our funding. We like just being able to do whatever the hell we want to do. Or Trump's like, yeah, we're going to cut that off. We're going to keep our troops at home and, make America strong just for America. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, no. World police. Yes.
I was
Team
part
America.
of that cover up with US FORA and agent, and that's redacted, of the DEA. There's the DEA again. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. So that's new. Abduction.
Attempt?
By the government, I'm assuming.
He said the FBI's after him. Everything screams like paranoid, like MK Ultra gone wrong. Someone at the grocery store said his trigger word, but it wasn't followed up by anything. So like he just like got half activated and like, you know what I mean? Like it just feels like this guy is crazy, and that's the energy I'm getting. I'm not getting any evidence about anything that he's talking about, right? He mentions these crazy things, but doesn't go into any details. Like the FBI is after him. He's telling the dude that was on Sean Ryan's show, like, this is going to change the course of human history. And it's like, what's going to change? Like you've just like said a few things, right? I
think
I don't trust
the
him.
Chinese,
I don't trust this guy.
Chinese and America secret technology. I think that's what he meant possibly by change the world, which it would, like, if that's,
and you know what?
True.
Hold on. I want to add. What I don't like is I watched the entire Sean Ryan interview. It was good, right? Then I watched the whole other interview, and in the middle of that interview, the guy suddenly goes, he changed his meds right beforehand, and I'm like, how the hell do you not mention that on the giant podcast you were just on, and you're gonna like then suddenly talk about it and like be complaining about all these people on the internet that are debunking you? So obviously you're being triggered by these people that are debunking your story and poking holes in it. And then, also just to mention, he just changed his meds and now he's writing all this crazy shit. And it's like, well, maybe he's seeing shit that isn't there.
Which is possible. Okay.
I'm leaning way into that now.
With the driving to the wrong Las Vegas, with like the contacting of his ex-girlfriends that he's never talked to, he hasn't talked to in years, like randomly. Yeah, there's some strange behavior. And by all means, it could be the answer. I mean, Occam's razor, it could just be somebody that is very mentally unwell, has seen some stuff and has gotten really messed up and thought that this was the best way to get a message out, and then went and did it, and didn't do it in the most, cognitive way. Like he could have, by his training, done a much larger explosion, but it was kind of like not put together very well, they were saying, and he looked erratic in some of the videos that you could find. So that could be the case. That could be the case.
Look, I mean, that's kind of a big deal to Adam. You're right. That's
Change
a big deal to miss. But, and I'm just trying to give the guy an out here. I'm trying to be a little fair. That would be in my bullet points to hit. But I've been on podcasts before and I've forgot to mention things that are pretty important. But that one's like
really
important, like to bring.
I agree. It's very important. This guy had clearly he had things planned out, right? Don't release this until this time. I'm gonna have this stuff.
I'm gonna contact all these content creators.
Where's his dead man switch? Where's the stuff that activated after he died that exposes the actual shit that he's talking about here? Because he didn't expose anything. He just said, "Hey, look over there," and it's like people are like, "Oh, well, what's over there?" I'm like, "Oh, well, go look for yourself." Like, no. This kind of level, if you're gonna go through this amount of stuff, he's basically trying to be a whistleblower times 10 because he's choosing to martyr himself for this cause that he's living for. So where is the information? Where is the proof that China's got these crazy drones that the unlimited payload? They can drop a nuke anywhere they want.
Like maybe he didn't copy files or something. Maybe he just witnessed it, and everything is so compartmentalized. That's here's the biggest problem. We are in a hyper security state. Things are over classified all the fucking time. And if stuff is that dire to where it needs to be classified forever, like what the fuck are we doing then? Yeah. What the fuck kind of shit are we doing that we can never tell our public that we're paying for this shit? And you're just going to have to go like, I'm done with trust me, bro, from the fucking government. Like I'm completely done. So we must be doing some really fucking dark shit. And their justification is, do you like your comfortable life? Do you like watching TV? Do you like your internet? We need to do this. Well, you know what? You still need to fuck you. You need to justify this shit. Maybe I don't want you doing this. You know what? Maybe I can give up my fucking internet. Fuck you. Don't decide for me. I'm tired of this shit. But like, I know that's just the way things are. Well, fuck that.
They don't have to do it.
So him killing himself is now taking. He obviously believes in this cause. He obviously wants this stuff to be out there. So why kill yourself? Why you're doing a disservice to what you're trying, the ends you're trying to get to. He obviously knows information. He obviously has more things to say about the shit that he knows.
I worked with General Miller, IO staff on this. He was part of the cover-up. He says I was part. I worked with General Miller's OI staff on this, as well as response to the Bela AOB South Commander at the time, redacted, can validate it. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war, because this is mutually assured destruction situation. For vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger. Yeah, and active duty 18Z out of 110. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI and a UAP USAP access. So he had access to everything. He didn't provide us, like, it would have been great. Yeah, we would have loved some file attachments.
They Seth Rished him then. Yeah, now like that they took him out. He had information, and this is all just them trying to. There's two options, right? The dude's either mentally ill and believes all this stuff, whether it's true or not, or he was an actual whistleblower who actually had shit, and they Seth Rished him. They got rid of him because he actually had this stuff and was coming forward with it. He was he was reaching out to everybody. He was trying to reach out to Sean Ryan, trying to reach out to all these different people, and wasn't able to get to anyone. And before they got to him and put all this stuff. I don't even think that he wrote this. He might have written stuff along those lines. I don't know. I'm seeing two different avenues, and they're both very plausible.
This has spawned conspiracy theories for the next 100 years. This is a Kennedy assassination. You know, like, so much shit is done in front of our face, and like with classified information, certainly we don't want our enemies getting access to how to make a bomb. I get that. That part I get. The basic stuff I get. But I'm guessing, and I'm guessing most of the chat will guess this as well, that 75% of the shit classified is to cover somebody's ass. That's all it is. It's not stuff that really needs to be. It's just to keep some fucking very rich and powerful people out of fucking jail. That's what it is. And they've played around and they've kept secrets for so long. And it's like being a drug addict, and you're lying to your spouse, or you're lying to everybody. You're lying to yourself, and everybody knows it, but they can't like really prove it. but it just gets worse and worse for you as time goes on. This is what he means about like our culture right now is sick. Our country right now, our government is sick. It's absolutely sick. And you go to the Diddy list.
I want to add
Epstein. You go to Epstein being fucking killed right in fucking front of our eyes, and like we're not supposed to question that at all. You know, the Vegas shooter, don't know shit about him. The two people who fucking tried to shoot fucking Trump, don't know fucking shit about them. But this guy in fucking New Orleans, there were
you know everything about him.
Yeah, we see his
everything about him.
See his fucking apartment. Like, what the fuck?
There's something about that manifesto that the police found on his phone that is just too convenient. It's too well to point, like to get to all these people that are like, yeah, he's right. Oh man, he had something to say. Man, wow, I definitely understand what he's saying. Instead of going like, all right, well, maybe it's a little too convenient. Maybe it's a little too on the nose for what everyone's agreeing with. To like, they're just believing it because it's a confirmation bias, right? People are going, oh yeah, all right, well, I guess he made sense.
These are not dummies that we're dealing with. This is the deep state. They are not going to go down without a fight. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to take, this is a deep state that's been developing itself for at minimum since 1947. And for many years, we're like, hey, the government, they're out there fighting for our freedoms and stuff like that. And, I haven't believed that for a long time, I'm sure. But now, like, it's mask off, and they're so arrogant. Like I said before, they've done shit right in front of our fucking faces. And Tom Cruise questioning psych meds. He was completely vilified at the time. I'll never forget that. Many people, including Alex Jones, many years ago, questioning certain shots. We'll just say. That our kids get early on and stuff. And now we're RFK's like openly talking about it, talking about like what side effects do we have? Because now we had a couple of years where they were trying to push something on us that wasn't tested and we were told was safe. Now we have a thing called turbo cancer.
No comment.
So like, what the fuck?
It's so hard to tell because I can't dispute any of the things he said. Like they all make sense. Like the possibility of us having some airstriking and doing war crimes, I would believe that could happen. The possibility of us and China having technology that we don't know about as civilians that could be catastrophic, that you could park over our White House is a possibility. But with Adam's point, there's no proof. And I'd like to know if these people that he points out that are redacted, can they validate these things? Who are these people? Like,
according to Sean Ryan, that he had people.
I thought he redacted it.
Sean Ryan,
his producer did it, but it's because certain people reached out to him. He didn't give any names on even who reached out, but active duty people said those names are active duty right now. You need to redact them. So they did. So it's like
the whole thing is like, okay, it goes right. Like I said earlier, it goes right down the line of the UAP. There's possible technology that the government or China has that we're kind of doing this Cold War thing with. Like, it's all lining up to sound, it has the resonating of truth. But again, it's like trust but verify. We need to verify any of these claims. It's hard to do that.
Well, that's because our government has poisoned the truth.
Exactly. That's what they want. They want to make it impossible to get to that point.
I love that term from the documentary, James Fox documentary, Steal the Truth. We need to steal it. We need it because we're in a post-truth era. And we need, hopefully, we eventually get out of that. But the well has been so poisoned.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to believe anything. And I am positive there is some truth in this. And I'm positive there's some lies in this, or there's some bullshit. And I'm not positive at all that this comes from the bomber, Matthew Berg. I'll say that's an easier, or Matt Berg. That's an easier name to say.
Yeah.
But and the fact that this came later and they're electronic leaves too much to and they hit some bullet points, and like you said, confirmation bias that leads me to believe that they definitely fucked with this.
Some fuckery going on.
Whole thing. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
That's what makes it so hard,
China.
man.
It's China. Look
China.
over there, guys.
Yep.
Look over there. No. Don't look at the CIA. Don't look at the deep state that is essentially under attack with the new administration. That's
what this one's pointing out the CIA. This one's saying all of these, the DOD, the CIA, the DEA.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking DEA.
What are the DEA doing over there?
What are they doing in Afghanistan? Oh yeah, poppy fields. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
Poppy fields.
Well, it's like the things they ring true. It doesn't seem like he's just saying point over to China, it's not us. Like he's saying it's China and it's also fucking us. So like that's what it rings true, but it, like you said, there's no proof. I would love to see a file open up where he sent it to Joe Rogan or he sent it to whoever and said, here's a bunch of files. This is everything I got.
Where's that dead man switch?
Where is that information?
Drug Expediting Association. That's what we
basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, another big event that we have basically no answers on.
It's like the
Cool
theme
episode,
of this show.
Yep.
We need more evidence.
I'd love to see the evidence, man.
So true.
I think we have tons of it. I think we, even Sean Ryan is like, well, we could believe that the war crimes happened in Afghanistan. I'm sure there's plenty of war crimes that happened in Afghanistan and Iraq that were perpetuated by BlackRock, corrupt generals, corrupt leadership. You don't want to really blame the guys on the ground because they don't know everything. They're just giving orders and they go. But that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem we have right now. I don't trust our military at all. I would trust them maybe slightly more than the three-letter agencies, but I'm talking about our military leadership. I think they're all corrupted as well.
Yeah.
Especially when we see them taking pictures with fucking dog masks on, or they're dressing as fucking women. It's like, wow, looks like you're having a big old fucking party on our dime when you're supposed to, like, you have a job to do, which is defend this country. In my opinion, should only be to defend the homeland. That's it. Stop fucking around with other countries.
Yeah, we need to end that shit.
If they're gonna fall, they're gonna fall. If they're on their own, okay.
I think it is gonna end. Yeah.
That's what I hope Trump does, man. Is just ends all that.
One president
this turn.
You see the president of Honduras? It's South American country. It's female president. Was out there going, we're gonna shut down the base if you start deporting some of our citizens. And I just responded like, your terms are acceptable. Let's shut down the base. Let's just shut down the base. Fuck you.
Sure.
We don't need a base down there. I don't care.
Look, we came in World War II. We cleaned up everybody's mess. All you guys are having a problem over there. We cleaned it up. Took care of your stuff for like 60 years. Time for you guys to take care of your own toys. You get out of it.
Taking the Panama Canal back.
Yeah,
it's all this bullshit. Trying to get like poppy fields, trying to get oil, trying to get whatever the fuck, trying to destroy these other countries, build up other democracies and other places. Why do we care? Like, stop it. Jeez. So that's what I hope. I hope Trump does do that. I hope that is the plan. We end all this.
More 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. It will.
4 years.
Taking 45, 48 years to get here.
It's good that he has a team now, and not. Could you imagine if Mike Pence became president? Like,
oh, geez, man,
awful. That would I never like that.
No.
But
I'm glad he's done.
Well, he exposed himself. What a piece of shit.
100%.
Oh, that good Christian guy. That guy worships the deep state. That's his god.
I think he was secretly gay.
That's why he never wanted to hang out with women. That's what it was.
Well, yeah, I think a
lot
of people in Washington are secretly gay and not so secretly really into the youthful enthusiasts, we'll just say. Like look what's going on in the UK right now. It's Elon's fucking roasting the shit out of them. That was if Kamala won, that's what our country would have been like with the poor UK. There's good people over there that we love you over there, but man, you're fucked. Holy shit. 5 years
sucks.
of that. Woo.
Ugh.
Need a vote of no confidence. You want to get the soups? It's been crazy.
Hey, just to reset everybody, we are not looking to delete ourselves. We have no interest in that.
I am very happy. We just pass on information. None of this is facts or news. These are opinions.
It's all like a big. It's like a hooey.
They're all a bunch of retards. So
yeah.
Gary, can you check the private chat before we start soups and then do that, please? Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Want to say?
But yeah.
Hang on.
I like being alive.
Yeah, we love being alive. It's great.
Done.
I can't wait to see everybody at MegaCon. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so fun.
MegaCon in a month. Your microphone is all muffly and weird. X-ray girl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
She just got she finger banged it.
Ow. All right.
No fingers were used on the mic, okay?
GG sups. GG
Maybe my mouth.
sups. So yeah, hopefully they said it on the Sean Ryan. They said prepare for a bloody 2025.
It's gonna be.
They also talked about the guy at the end when he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't want to talk about it," and he gave some like acronym or whatever. But basically, surface to air rockets have made it
from
into
Iran.
From Iran have made it into our country. They found the guys who brought them in, but they haven't found there's two systems, I guess we call them, that made it in, and they haven't found them, but they found the guys who brought them in.
That was really quiet.
Currently being waterboarded in Guantanamo.
And then when asked about it on the other interview, he's like, "Oh, I just didn't really. I hate that I have to talk about this now. I shouldn't have said it." Like, bro, you shut the fuck up. You said that's some crazy shit to say.
Serious.
What do you mean? You're upset people are asking you about it, but you said that Iran smuggled in surface-to-air missiles, so Trump had to take a charter flight and not fly around his Trump Force One. Like, what do you
actually happened? But no, it wasn't him who said it. It was the guy he's working with. It was the guy he was working with who said it, and he's all, well, it's out there now.
Hold on. You remember back when the drones were happening and that drone technician that said he was working with the government? He was talking about the drone technology and all the things, and he was saying that there was a warhead that was missing. I can't remember the location that he said it was missing, but he said that was what it was. They were possibly looking for nuclear remnants over New Jersey. Do you remember that? I wonder if that's connected
Chris
in any
Mellon
way.
talking about it in the documentary where he said said it turned out not to be true, but he was asked specifically, have you ever known things that like I'm paraphrasing, bothered the shit out of you that you couldn't tell anybody? He's, oh yeah, there was the threat of a nuclear like a suitcase bomb in New York. Like there was one in New York, and I quietly moved my family out, but I couldn't tell anybody. So think about that. He knew something that would be a threat to everybody in a 3-state area.
Like I Am Legend.
Quietly took his family out and left us all to fucking die. Yeah. It turned out it wasn't true, but it was a plausible or plausible threat. Yeah. Take that however you will. So yeah, loyalty to government, not to people. So yeah, hopefully that's the last thing that happens this year. That's what I hope for.
That'd be great.
Hopefully this is in fact two completely unrelated stories. One guy was radicalized within the last year to want to do something for ISIS, and killed 15 people, wounded many others in New Orleans. It was a complete accident that they didn't lift up the barriers. It was a complete accident that the assistant DEA of New Orleans committed suicide. That happened today. He was, all these coincidences. Same day, guy blows up a Tesla truck in front of Trump. All coincidences. All just random
tying
acts
up
of
them loose ends.
big world out there. A lot of random things happen. Yeah, if you want to pull up, Benny put up a tweet. The assistant DA of New Orleans has
Ian Kirsting.
Yeah, has committed suicide.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yep. Sure.
Yep. Breaking: New Orleans assistant attorney Ian Kirsting found dead in apparent suicide of self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Was it a 50 cal?
Should be laughing at that if I did. Burrow. All right, we're going to read some soups. Oh yeah, and
ancient civilization.
And China might have we might have anti-gravity drones.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Sean Ryan's like, I could totally, he's all, I think they said they checked out the Afghanistan thing and that did happen, right? They might have changed their story on that later, not sure. But then they're like, oh, anti-gravitic weapons, or not gravitic propulsion systems.
Right.
Oh,
such a cool word. Gravitic.
Yeah.
I like it.
Zorbu has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $25. Thank you, Zorbu. Thank you, Zorbu. Yeah, because this one's definitely getting demonetized. Oh, fucking well. We're on Rumble, so watch it on Rumble. Alec Baldwin's finger has gifted 50 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $250. Thank you, Alec Baldwin's finger. He never misses, and he gets away with it. And he gets
finger
away
bang.
with it.
We saw him too.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
It was just all over the
Peru, San Antonio. Yeah, he's just living a good life. That one. Peru was awesome.
Yeah, dude. So good.
Feels so long ago.
It does.
But just yesterday at the same time.
I know. I'm going to spend the year putting together our footage and Michael's footage so I can make a little documentary.
Yeah.
That'll go here. Oh, so yeah. As far as turning this in the Forbidden Frontier channel, that is going to happen. But forgive me. I'm going to I need to let people know. So I think we need some time to pass. I need to make a video and mention it at the beginning of every Forbidden Frontier. So we're going to wait a couple, 3 months to make the change, just so I can tell everybody. Because when you radically change a channel, it's not usually good for the channel. Okay?
Yeah.
But
I was kind of worried about that a little bit.
Yeah, I was talking about it enough, but I'm a man of my word. We got to do it. But I'm going to take some time to get the word out, and then because we're also shifting some stuff to Nerdrotic Daily that people watch here, which is the re-uploads of the Nerdrotic Nooner, for example. And when I occasionally do live TV reactions and reviews, I sometimes do it over here. So that's going to move over to Nerdrotic Daily or stay on the main channel. But I just want to communicate it as well as I can over the next 2 or 3 months. So please forgive me, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen. But I feel like I need to be more communicative. So I apologize that it hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. So please forgive me. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $19.99. I'll be honest, my BS alarm kind of got triggered watching the interview with Sam. He said the Cybertruck guy was running from the FBI, yet Sam said his first reaction after it happened is he needed to contact the FBI. What? Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I get your reaction, but if I get some crazy emails, okay? I get a lot of crazy, not a lot. I get some crazy emails. I do. But nothing I would I read them and I'm all okay. We would need some proof of that. before I run with I'll just throw an example out there. Child enthusiast rings in Hollywood, right? Like that's with names. I can't like it's like, do I believe it happens? Yes, absolutely, but I can't just run out with names. I can't. Without like proof. So I get that part of it. So when you get a legit, I guess the one thing you could question Ministry of Wrong Think is he got the email and thought it was bullshit and didn't tell anybody at first because he just thought it was bullshit.
I think he said that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Then after the incident, then he contacted the FBI. But as he's saying,
I think Ministry's pointing out that he got the email, thought it was bullshit. Then it came out that wait, this might not be bullshit. This might actually be that guy. And then he contacted the FBI that he said was hunting him down
in that situation. Because he said, like, I don't trust the FBI. He said, I don't trust the FBI. So why would you contact him? And it's like probably to cover his ass because if it got found out that he got that email. But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Ministry of Wrong Think, it could totally be bullshit. It's good that you have your bullshit alarm going off. Absolutely on everything. Yes. Josh Kelsey has dropped $20, walks away. That's what he does. Thank you, Josh. Hail, brother. Happy New Year. A Dez for $20. Have you set a date for the Vegas meetup in April? I have a feeling it's going to be the same time as WrestleMania. Are there any updates? We're going to do it around WrestleMania, but no, I haven't like locked down venue or anything yet. I'm waiting for I do one meetup at a time, and we have even though it's not mine, I'm doing MegaCon first, and then right after MegaCon, we'll shout out the dates. We have to lock down venue first. Once I lock down a venue, then I'll give you the dates. But we have done zero work on that. We assume we have the same venue. I know people were saying we need a bigger one, and I know we do, but like Millennium Fandom Bar like gives us the place for free. So
they're great people too.
Yeah, they are. So what we'll probably do again is do 2 nights. That would be my guess. Soldier Spirit, sorry, $20 rant. I've been all over this story and been talking with Green Berets and vets talking. They don't think the email this talk is real. His position would be give him not give authorization him access to the tech or China info.
Okay.
Yeah, vets. Yeah, go talk to vets. Vets talking.
Yeah.
Great guys over there. And I guess that's like, again, not in the military, but as far as Green Berets, pretty exclusive group. So I'm guessing they all kind of know each other for the most part. Do I have that right? Special forces, not a big.
They call it a community. So there's like.
So I'm guessing a lot of them are aware of each other. It's again exclusive group that not everybody gets into. It's probably not a huge number of people. Zorbu for $25 on the Streamlabs side. It says happy annual planetary rotation around the sun, Earthlings. Anyway, Zorbu will celebrate your tradition of New Year resolutions. Out our probes, in our more probes. Great, right? All kidding aside, Zorbu just wants to lose some weight. Sigh. Anonymous for $50 on the Streamlabs side. Thank you, Anonymous. Check out the podcast, Ecosystem Futures, episode 69, Beyond Conventional Physics. They discuss the physics of UAP behavior. Ooh, I will check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Bob Marley from the Dead. Oh, man. Not the biggest reggae fan, but I liked you, Bob Marley. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no driver in a Cybertruck. Oh, no. Oh, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no driver in a Cybertruck. Oh. I shot the sheriff. Eric Clapton did a good cover of that song. He did. Eric Clapton's based. How crazy is that?
Is he?
Yes.
I don't know.
He was very anti-COVID. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, dude, he was fucking completely anti-COVID lockdowns and everything.
Awesome.
Like, it was great.
Heck yeah.
And then you see like pussies like D. Snyder and even Ozzy was being a fucking pussy. Most of them are pussies.
Scared.
Green Day fucking sucks government cock.
They've always been pussies though.
They all Offspring fired their fucking drummer. you know, who's obviously the only
Foo
only
Fighters.
Follows me on Twitter, by the
Sadly,
way, brother. You were the only punk rocker to ever exist in Offspring at any time. And the other ones are a bunch of sellout fucking gamer words. Piston for €2. Gamer Lord Gary, when will you play Indiana Jones? Soon. I want to play Indiana Jones. I like Indiana Jones. You know what? I think whether the game is good or bad, Indiana Jones doesn't have the cultural appeal that Star Wars does. Like, youngsters are not into Indiana Jones. They're just not.
Sad.
Which is sad because Indiana Jones is Saturday morning serial pulp based hero. Like, kind of what we need to return to. Thanks to me and also Razor Fist, my youngest is obsessed with pulp now. Obsessed with it, reading it all the time. And it's great storytelling, and we kind of need to go back to that. By the way, I do believe what became public domain this year besides Popeye.
Yeah, Popeye.
Flash Gordon.
The original Mickey Mouse.
The original. Was it Flash Gordon? It was Buck Rogers.
It was Buck Rogers. And Flash Gordon is 2029. The Shadow is 2029. So I wanted to hey, fucking Razor Fist, you need to do a Shadow story.
Fuck
bro.
Yeah.
I will back that. I will back that all day long.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. So Conan, I think, is 2029 as well. So a lot of the pulp heroes are gonna be public domain soon. Gonna have a lot of fun with that. Superman too. Superman's gonna be public.
And then Batman
domain.
right after that.
Right after that. Logan Miller for $9.99. Love y'all. Ice sucks butt. This shit is wild, Gary. Be safe, everyone. Hail chat. Yeah. That ice storm that you guys are experiencing, I am not. It's 61 currently. It was 74 today. But we are going to have a 40 degree difference. It's going to be below freezing tonight. So
we had an ice storm. It was cold as hell up here.
It was.
Yeah,
ice
dude,
storm
was
went through
really
the
cold. Not as cold as this guy.
It's like 22 degrees outside right now.
For a Texan. Okay,
that's for Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I gotta call it though. I'm sorry, I can't stay for all
sleepyhead.
soups. Yeah, it's 2 hours.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
I'm juggling a newborn with my wife. So, all right,
Literally,
everyone.
that's
Great
dangerous.
episode though. Fun.
Awesome
That was
episode.
a lot of fun talking
Great job, dude.
conspiracies.
Go be a dad.
All right. See you next week.
See you, brother.
Adam Crigler, go subscribe
Cheers,
to Adam
chat.
Crigler's channel. Go see Based AF Monday.
Peace.
So yeah, hit Missouri and other states like that. Big old ice storm. It's like right down the middle of the country, I guess. And it's just fucking cold up north. But yeah, you know what? We got to put a fire in our fireplace for the first time this year.
Nice.
Well, I guess it's not that old of a year. For the first time in a year. How's that sound? V6 Neon says, good evening from Batshit Bonkers, Britain. Phone message from Tommy Robinson is available on Rumble. Ask why a bringing back previous restrictions and ways on Twitter unless he is selling it. Tommy Robinson. Adam did an interview with him. You can go watch it on Adam's channel. I've heard, I know what I know as far as clips are concerned. Okay, about Tommy, and like a lot of the stuff he says on clips is I got no problem with. I've heard good and bad. I don't know, so I'm not going to pass judgment on him at all.
I like Tommy.
I don't know enough, but what I have seen on clips, I have no problem with.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times before, like Crowder interviews and stuff, setting up his stuff. He seems to be a good dude. Some of those situations, like complete government overreach. Like he was literally just outside of the courthouse, not doing anything, just reporting on it, and they arrested him. Like they have it out for him for some reason. I mean,
Like
I think we know why. But
I mean, it's
he wasn't doing anything. That was the thing for that
that's a
situation.
vague fucking charge.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. I've heard like the mortgage fraud thing, but like even if that was like in his past, so fucking what? You know, like if he did his time and came out, I'm not going to hold that against him. So I mean, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's go. Oh no, I forgot it's Gary time. Thank you, Mark Shaw. You're right as a traveler. Andrew Matthews for £5 proper money. When will X-Ray Girl be freed from airing cupboard and let loose to return to Mark? She's with her fam right now. Holidays and stuff. Boris Kovicevic for $12. Anyone watch Deep Space Nine? Yes, I love it. I always thought that the changeling shapeshifter infiltrates as infiltrators are rhinos. Am I right? Happy New Year, Forbidden Frontier. There's a lot. You know what? There's Mark Zickery. I've interviewed one writer from DS9. That's Mark Zickery. Definitely a guy on the left, but like classic, very much a classic liberal guy. I will say that's probably what 100% of the writers were with DS9. But there's some base stuff in that show. There definitely is.
Accidentally based.
Accidentally, or it was a class. I mean, dude.
Classical leftist, yeah.
Liberals from the 90s are different. So, great
That's
show.
why we have the coalition.
Just had its 32nd anniversary. Can't believe it's been that long. Go watch Emissary. Go watch the first episode. Go watch Deep Space Nine. I mean, like, dude, Babylon 5, like J. Michael Straczynski is not MAGA, but there's some union based shit in there, but there's also some like really based free speech stuff in Babylon 5 as well. Alexander M for $5. I think best explanation we can hope for is it's the worst, clumsiest cover-up psyop in history. Either other alternative seems worse. I can hear. Okay, this isn't justification, but this is an explanation why it's clumsy. So let's go with that. It's a clumsy psyop because everybody's leaving. They're all out in 15 days.
Yeah,
2 weeks. All we have to do is survive 2 days.
Just hold it together, guys.
Hold it together. And that might be an explanation why it's clumsy.
Maybe.
Macaque, the traveler, said someone out there has an alien, but they're not telling anyone because they keep it as a sex slave. Man,
the other way
that
around.
might be one of the most likely. Well, yeah,
it could be.
A good point.
Could be.
That explanation, like like Clinton. Like they're so jaded. They've done it all. They're like, we got an alien.
We got to get an extraterrestrial.
Bring that alien over to my house.
Get him over here. Get that little blue boy over here.
Bang it.
How old is he? Don't tell me. I'm just going
to. Rex Cremo, Danger Seeker for $5. Gary, Adam, X-Ray, and Quarter Black. Look up John Kiraku, ex-CIA whistleblower. Amazing stories and dirt on the government during Iraq and Afghanistan. I will. I butchered his last name and I apologize.
Copy paste. I'm looking it up.
Akimbo for $10. It's important to ask what Americans' involvement was in the 2019 incident and to what extent. Like Benghazi, it had benefits to America to know if there was wrongdoing. An investigation is not too much to ask. You are absolutely right. No, Benghazi was fucking horrid. Horrid. And God, we forget about that. Remember when they said it was caused by a YouTube video? Or was it a documentary or a YouTube video? What was it?
It was a YouTube video.
It was a YouTube video. A fucking YouTube video. So they were trying that shit back then. That's where it started. What do you think? Fucking Obama. It's an evil piece of shit.
Who was defense secretary at the time?
I think it was Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I'm a very happy person.
He died.
I will not end up hanging from a tree that I hung myself on after I shot myself in the chest with a shotgun. By the way, fact check that. Former person who worked for Clinton hung himself from a tree after he shot himself. How does that happen? Lady Greymaster for $5, who's not supposed to be super chatting, says highly sus. Yes. Logan Miller says Leighton Adam. It's not even here. Miranda Boone for $5. Gary, go back to the guy in the Tesla The light reflection goes behind him until the explosion starts, then behind it. I did notice that.
Let me go
But,
back.
I mean, I don't know how things can blow up. I am not a munitions expert. I'm not an expert in anything except for being retarded. But I'm highly skilled at that. Oh, and Africa. But and maybe Harry and Meghan too. And gaming and anime. Mario Kart. Eric Helfinger for $10. If the barriers were broken, why wouldn't you stack them with 1,000-pound cement blocks? There's no reason with our ability to move large, heavy things to not have barriers. Dude, how
they had those at Chaz.
Okay.
Chaz was surrounded by giant concrete blocks.
So
they
on
can't
the
do that
Golden
in New
Gate
Orleans.
Bridge, those of you who have driven on the Golden Gate Bridge know that they switch the lanes. Sometimes there's 3 lanes on one side and 2 on the other, and there's different ones. You know how do they do that? Well, the same thing they do in the Coronado Bridge in San Diego. There is a machine. There is a truck that drives down the center of the bridge and takes each cement slab and moves it to the left, and it just goes the whole way. I've seen it drive by, and it opens up a lane. Yes, you are right. They could very easily put up cement barriers like for road construction. They could do it in a matter of a couple of hours that's a small area. They could do it in a fucking hour. They could do it in an hour. Also on Interstate 15, you're right. Movable barriers. Good old Interstate 15. I drove up and down that motherfucker a lot. Decky 69 for $2. Jakar and Londo were the best in B5. They were, absolutely. Loki Aroth Traveler says, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year to you. General Kale for $10. Trust me when I say every CIF team, Green Beret knows the burn rates of explosives and fireworks don't explode. They deflagrate?
Deflagrate, maybe?
Yeah. Makes no sense. Yeah.
We had other stuff other than
Green Berets are not dummies.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just not. And they know how to, he even says it. He's like, I could fucking blow this building up if I wanted to. Like he could. Alec Baldwin's finger for $5. I approve of the name. I'm glad. So Jimmy Collins says, I have family in Aurora, Colorado. They can be a bit much sometimes. I don't know if they get enough oxygen at that altitude. I'm being honest. I agree.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
They're deprived. Their brain goes crazy.
Yeah.
Their brain goes crazy. The brain goes crazy. Udite for $10 says, not sure how this affects the topics at hand, but surprises me how little news the Wangu Goldfield has made. Seems China finding the world's largest gold deposit in November 2024 merits some attention. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. What? Goldfield.
Gold. There you go. I think that would.
1,000 tons of gold deposit? Oh my God.
There you go. Silo full of Cool Ranch Doritos for $5. The bad thing is Tesla also wastes a lot of water to put out along with energy because of the batteries. Well, I mean, Landman pointed it out, but this is something we used to point out to people back in my auto parts days. A friend of mine, Scott Edwards, he might be out listening. What's up, brother? Printed out we had a list of everything oil goes into, and we also did a list of everything a cow goes into. And both lists were incredibly long. So anybody who pretends to be a vegetarian, I promise you, something you use in your everyday life came from a cow, and something you use in your everyday life in the last hour comes from oil. Period. These are not things you could just take away and expect the world to continue. I mean, you might want some change, but as they said in Landman, it won't happen in your lifetime. It won't happen in mine. It won't happen to my kids. The petrodollar is pretty established at this point. Doug R. For now, they really wanted to change it. That Great Reset thing was real, by the way. I'm sure all of you believe that. So it just didn't work. Happy 12th night of Christmas, everyone, celebrating the last day of Christmas, says Zia Han for 742. Thank you very much. Doug R. for $10. Hey, Gary, first time super chat. Thanks for all you do. Please check out Robert Sphere Sepper. He is based in an anthropologist. Happy New Year to you all. Cheers. I will.
Cool.
Mod Eric says they hired the police chief off Oakland, California. Oh, one of the most dangerous places in the world. What did they expect? She did not even know about the barriers, ran over 12 people. So that bitch is from Oakland.
Old lady?
That explains a lot. I was wondering why there are so many stories about vampires in Europe, but not in Africa. And then I realized vampires are killed by holy water. They bless their rains down in Africa, says Rob Soaked Gamer for $10.
It's true.
Bubba Doom for $10. I've been watching the 80s Saturday morning cartoons with Baby Doom. They are based. Even She-Ra. I think that's why the feds killed Saturday morning cartoons in the 90s. Just my tinfoil hat thinking. Yes. Southeastern Kaiju for $2. Snowstorm arriving in DC just in time for January 6th. Ah, man, what are you guys doing for January 6th? I have my tree decorated. I have my gifts ready.
Every year we build a gingerbread White House, and on the...
Do you storm it?
Yeah, we storm it that morning. Yeah, we take a little...
a little reenact.
One gummy bear's like crawling through the window. We eat it. I always remember.
Take over for. I was pulling out my lectern and I spilled my coffee.
Oh, okay.
You didn't give me a lectern, man. What the heck, Adam?
Lectern.
Oh my
Adam,
gosh.
why don't you give me a lectern? I want a lectern.
And now I gotta clean up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Put on your wish list.
This thing fell off. It's supposed to be a lectern.
That dude's cool. The lectern guy, Adam.
I'm gonna have to re-glue that on now. Oh shit! Now I broke my lectern and spilled my coffee. Fuck! I'll be back.
I sat for like 45 minutes talking to him and his wife. Cool people. Cool people.
Oh, that's cool. They made their own and gave it to him.
Yeah, the lectern guy. You know the lectern guy, right? He stole the lectern. He's the guy. He's like
the lectern guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We had him on the show. He's made his own little carpentry lecterns.
Amazing. We have Eric K for $2 says people in Colorado eat yellow snow. That's disgusting. Jason JJJ says Clinton was on the board of Turo until last month.
No. What?
Really?
No way. You're gonna make me look this up. It's gonna be wrong, and you're gonna laugh. I can hear you laughing already.
Like you should just because that would be insane. That would be insane.
Okay, continue. I'm gonna look.
Okay, so thank you, Jason. Japanese demon lord Abir Lucifer for 5 says Fort Bragg is where the U.S. Special Forces are trained, mainly the Green Berets, aka the soldiers who topple governments. Interesting.
Okay, so Chelsea Clinton was on a board for a different company that owns 31% of Turo. I mean, still.
It's okay. Not the okay. Okay. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser for $2 says Justin Castro expected to resign this week. It wouldn't
You think
be
so?
his. So there, I knew this was happening, but I didn't want to like fudge up all the words. So I looked it up. The Liberal MPs called for a caucus on Wednesday to talk about Trudeau and what that's going to look like. And
So do they think he's not liberal enough?
I think that this is my thoughts, that they see how much the country doesn't like him and how it reflects badly on him.
On them.
So they want to do a lot of backtracking, and especially because the election supposedly would be like, in the later year this year, actually. So
Interesting.
might as well get ahead.
Try to get him out before the election.
I mean, if they can, they tried to do a vote of no confidence, and I think that didn't work. So maybe not. We'll see. Either way, I do think he is not going to be the prime minister. Oh, definitely not reelected. There are too many people upset at him.
How embarrassing is that? You have Justin for that long, and then at the end decide, oh, no confidence. Like, wait,
Yeah,
you had him this
what did you do? Like
so
Biden
long.
didn't even had that, and Biden could barely speak or walk.
Yeah, what the heck?
So yeah, Lady Gravemaster for $2 says everybody's on TikTok. Government loves it. PSYOP Central. Well, social media in general is where they try to, get people to be molded to what they want. So
Or to muddy the water, like with every single situation, it's impossible to find good information or like the facts on stuff because it's just like we said, like the emails, they could be fudged with, the news media, that could be fudged with. Even when you have somebody that reports on it, then people take their version of it, and maybe assets could be taken in there saying their little.
It's like broken
nothings.
telephone, though.
Exactly. Yeah, that's It's better than news media.
My keyboard survived. Everything survived.
Oh, good.
Such a waste of coffee.
R.I.P. coffee.
R.I.P. coffee.
Go on,
you're doing a great job.
Oh, Max Redstone for $2 says, as a drone operator, my opinion, this was government to push for more laws.
That's they've already asked for that in New Orleans. They've asked for more surveillance.
That was a list that I showed in New Jersey that they've been banning it across the entire state.
Yeah.
Just simple, like the Mavics, like the small drones that people can have at their house. Can't have that.
But the government can.
But they can.
I mean, there's some justification for that. It could be dangerous, but like
over a certain height, I can see if you could be hitting planes or helicopters or whatever, but like
more mass, like they're going to use it like a Patriot Act. Like forget the drones, like they're just going to spy on us more. And it could strike some fear, so we could get some more domestic funding for the military industrial complex and stuff. Like that's always got to. We've always got always. Yeah. The chat, $5. Thank you. They passed the hat around. Recommended the Next News Network breaking the bone-chilling reason. This goes very deep. Anti-gravity is involved. Cybertruck plus New Jersey drones. So it's the Next News Network breaking. Oh, I know the Next News. Okay, I'll watch that. Mark of Reality for $5. Read a report that the Cybertruck guy used a 50 caliber Desert Eagle on himself, but if that had happened, his head would not have. He wouldn't have had a head.
Yeah, it would have been gone.
It would have been gone. Lady Greymaster for $2. You're not supposed to be super chatting. Ever watch the old series Jericho? Season 1 is lit. Yes, Jericho was written by J. Michael Straczynski, right? No. Who wrote Jericho series? Fact checking myself right now. No, created by Steven Chbosky. Why did I think it was J. Michael Straczynski? I don't know why. But yeah, he did something else too. But yeah, Melissa really liked that show. God, yeah, I'm blanking what Straczynski wrote. Mark of Reality for $2. In my opinion, the Vegas guy was a victim of a setup. That's where I'm leaning. Eric K for $2. Sonic over 1 billion. #1 movie. Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. V6 Neon for $1. Just remember that the institutions that were used to house political dissidents labeled as mentally ill dare question the narrative. They'll lock you up without trial. Toxic Man Flu, $5 rant. The recent events were all weapons of mass distraction. Comics Division coined the phrase. Anyone still talking about the $6 billion that will go to Ukraine and then into neocon pockets? Nope.
Right, that's a good point.
Lex Friedman's getting a lot of flack for talking to Voldemort Zelensky. I think you talk to people, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him talking
with them, but if you want to do an interview, that's called journalism.
Yeah, I think that mentality is the mentality of the left, of saying like you can't talk to Trump because then you are Trump. Like that's a problem.
Yeah, I think
just talking to him is actually what we should be doing. We should be going hey, Zelensky,
going out and partying with the guy or something like that. Then
that would be a problem.
Different. That's a problem. Comics Division's ball sack rant for $2. Remember when Google, YouTube, and Twitter began requiring your phone number for an account? They got your phone IEMI number off that, and it renders VPNs moot. They know everything about you. That's what. Well, I mean, not everybody can do this, but that's why I have my second phone now, just for that I don't use. The only reason I got it though is because I lost the other one in a fucking Uber.
In an Uber.
Yeah. And then some kid. Did I tell you this story?
Yeah, you told me.
Some kid
Please tell the chat.
I'm fucking like about to go to bed at midnight, and then I get a call, and there's some kid on the phone. I'm like, "What do you want?" He's all, "Your phone was in my brother's car. You want it back?" I'm all, "Well, I got a new one, but sure." Does your mom know you're calling me? That's first. Like, so no. I'm all, first you got to talk to your mom, okay, and then we can talk about like you sending it back, and I'll send you money to send it or whatever. And then he said he didn't want to tell his mom. Like, well, then forget it. I don't care. Phone's dead. Well, could you give me the password? I'm all, no.
You give me the password. Come on, man. Just give me the password.
Give me the password. So the phone was bricked anyway. So like even the password wouldn't have gotten in. But yeah, some kid calls me in the middle of the night. Fucking A. So yeah, I left my phone in an Uber at Comic-Con, not last year, but the year before last. Mitchell Fields for $5. Gary, you said if the battery fire was too bad, they told you to run. Did they give you the running training? No. We just all assume that's part of firefighting. Okay. When I was a firefighter for in jail for the CDF, fully trained forestry firefighter, one of the things we did a lot was run fast. Because that shit is fast, and it could go from like being like a little about a foot of flames, 2 feet of flames, right, Garrett? And you're digging a line, and then it could turn into 20 feet, just like that. Wind gust comes up, and you're like, "Fuck!" and you just run.
That's basically all of the training is like cardio training. Like you have to get over those physical tests just to get in the door.
You had to,
and you pull this across the field like 18 times in a row? Nope, you're out.
I mean, it's been 30 years, but we had to climb Mount Motherfucker in like under 7 seconds, and it was just that's the grade on it. So you're on. The trick was use all fours. Like at first, you tried not to use all fours, but the trick was to use all fours. You go like, and you know, they give you a couple tries. It took me like 5, and that's when I was like young and pretty and in shape. Graph Web for $2. For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. I agree, but you also have to cancel Hulu and ESPN. Don't watch ABC. Don't go on a Disney cruise. Don't go to Disney World. Don't go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
If you so choose. I'm not telling you what to do. Hail Champ Panel from Jackson Cable for $5. Hail to you. Clank Clank, I'm a tank for $5. Army has all service members' DNA on file, so they will never have another unknown soldier. As of when I joined in 2002, for sure, they have his DNA. Yes.
Yeah.
Some Norwegian guy for 59 Norwegian krona just rewatched The Long Kiss Goodnight a couple of days ago. Made me think of the events in New Orleans and the Cybertruck bomb. It's a good movie too. Do not fire inside a vehicle without hearing protection. You will get damage to your hearing. Yes. And your brain. Mitchell Fields for $5. People act like drones and cars can't be reprogrammed, as if all we know the computer run on sunshine and rainbows. Crazy says it's computer code. Yes. Baba Doom for $2 says, am I the only one who thinks the video looks off? I mean, it comes from CNN, bro. So yes, you don't have to be the only one to question that at all. That one came from CNN. Lord of the
Sphincters.
Oh, okay. For $2. The guy who had no intention of committing suicide, but a Bruce Springsteen song came on the radio. Does anyone know where his body went after the explosion? By the way, I do. Fucking everywhere. Noob Shaba for $4.99. They didn't even know what a VBed was. I'm not surprised they don't know what the destructive power of a desert eagle is. That's true. Good point. Max Redstone for $5. Ryan Macbeth pointed out Sam Shoemate on Sean Ryan is a radical conspiracy theorist. He spread false facts and has an axe to grind with the U.S. Army. So Ryan Macbeth, who's Ryan Macbeth?
Is he another content creator?
I know there's the one, the fat guy who's like a straight up. Here, I'm Ryan Macbeth.
Yeah, I don't know this creator.
Yeah, that's the fat guy who's pro-Ukraine.
Is he? Okay.
Like he's the one who said it was Russian misinformation.
Ah. So
I hear Russian misinformation and like maybe the guy's fine, but I hear that and I'm just tune out. Done. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. Isn't it weird that all these, okay, just to dial back to that. Russian misinformation. That's all we fucking hear. You know, we've never heard Chinese misinformation. China is far more influential within our government and within our entertainment spheres than fucking Russia. Okay. Period. They are more of a threat. They are far more of a threat than Russia. Not saying Putin's a good guy. I'm not no fucking fan of Putin, but like Jesus. It's just amazing how we hear so much about Russia, not a fucking thing about China. Ever. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. Isn't it weird that all these manifestos placed right on the person's living and dead go out of their way to explicitly say, I worked alone. I definitely worked alone. Nobody helped me do anything. Men are speaking for $5. This note text sounds like an AI asked to make a MAGA screed. Good point. Big Flopper for $50. Sure started off like shit. Like a shit show, but wish y'all nothing but the best in 2025 in the coming years. Need to ask my dad about the UFO he saw in Colorado above Mount Antero. Sorry. I remember him saying it made absolutely no noise and hovered above the peak. Ooh, lots of sightings above mountains. Just saying. Cyberhunk returns for $5. Plot twist. He faked his death so he could go off the grid and work in the shadows without putting his family in danger. I smell sequel. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. Wouldn't Green Beret all have training to withstand physical and psychological torture? How would he go crazy like that?
They do, but it's still, you're still a human being. It still can affect you.
Ultimately, you're still a human being. Yep. Alex Jensen for $2. The Cybertruck could be hacked and drive itself. Yes, it could. Andrew Lapson for $222. MPAMMM propulsion. Victoria Gooner on the Streamlabs side for $3. Hail Forbidden Frontier. With the email static gravitic propulsion drone tech, you guys need to get Ashton Forbes on for a long, in-depth science tech interview. Ashton has been researching MH370, zero-point energy, low-energy nuclear reactions, plasmoids, etc. I have heard that. Raffin for £5 proper money. As a Brit, there is no point in a vote of no confidence. We do not have anyone capable of taking over. We need to endure a couple of years. Yeah, sorry. Andrew, yeah, I wonder if we'll be allowed in when we go. China, who steals jet planes, has TR-3Bs, Yeehawk. Yes, China is a major threat. If you want to have a country that's a threat, it's not one that's entangled in a war right now. Rook takes Rook for $9.99. Everyone seems to have a different conclusion to take about Matthew Livelsberger. I messed up his last name. I find myself not quite agreeing with anybody fully. There are a lot of unknowns. My fear is that we will never know. I can't. I lean a certain way, but I am not definitive in any of those explanations at all.
Same.
I don't know. Andrew Lipson for 2 Canadian pesos. Element 115 on the periodic table was disclosure. It's there. Bob Lazar got that one right. Crystal D for $4.99. Why does he keep mentioning Mexico? Why did he go to Mexico? If he was good to go to Mexico, then why not you just then why did he self-delete? I don't know.
Yeah. It's a big mystery, man.
Shameless self-plug. I wrote an article where I was asked Grok about the FSD on the Cybertruck. It's on X, and I would appreciate Gary's feedback from what he remembers while working at Tesla, says Usagi Okimbo. Email it to me for $10. I'll let you know. Ministry of Wrong Thing for $199. Excuse me. Maybe Trump Hotel will host the Vegas meetup. LOL. Hey, maybe.
It is a nice hotel. I love the Trump.
I'll stay at the Trump Hotel. What happened there does not dissuade me at all. 32 flavors of Nick fucking Weiser. What's up, Nick Weiser? For $5. Funny, as far as a curtain mainstream comics go, the ones that are killing it are the pulps. Conan and Flash Gordon are hugely great. Check them out. Conan's great.
New stuff?
I've read Conan. I haven't read the new Flash Gordon. I'll read the new Flash Gordon. Over the weekend, I was unable to view Phantom Menace in one sitting, appalling on several levels. Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Ever watched Space Above and Beyond? I did. Great show that was killed because they wanted the X-Files to be their flagship show. Very sad, but I mean, I think they made the... I don't know why they couldn't have kept them both. Yeah, Fox was kind of dumb. They got rid of, Firefly too. Briscoe County Jr. was the best TV show. Changed my mind. I won't argue. I love it. Own it on DVD. Watched it in prison. Gary, would you know the...
Oh yeah, Eric.
That's yellow. That's yellow, not yellow. PW. Yellow snow song.
Eric, that people in Colorado eat yellow snow.
Would I know that reference? Yes, I would.
Okay.
Don't go, watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. Frank Zappa. Come on. Of course I know.
Is that a Colorado thing?
Halo for $2. Sean Ryan having a space right now. Oh, he's having there you go. So he's on X right now. Lady Greenmaster for $2. China has dumped $500 billion into their drones. Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised.
And that wraps it up. I got to go eat dinner. I'm going to go watch Severance. I've never watched Severance. So I'm going to go check it out. A lot of people have talked about it. So that the late great Frank Zappa. You are right, chat. The late great Frank Zappa. Didn't like commies. Kind of base.
Yeah, base.
Yeah. Kind of a base dude. Liked him. What do you got coming up, Garrett?
Nothing except for Normal World returning on Tuesday. That's 2 days from now on our channel. So go check it out. Me, Dave Landau, Angela, hanging out. That's it. And subscribe to my channel, Nega Garrett. NEGA Garrett. That's it.
And we got something going on Friday after Friday Night Tights, but we'll
do
talk about it later.
For this show,
we got something going on. So X-Ray Girl, yeah, Friday Night Tights is probably it's got to
end on time.
Well, it's got to end early, actually. So we might have to move it up an hour.
Okay.
So you might want to tell everybody. Tell everybody because it's got to end. It's got to end at 6 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Has to end because we have plans. Garrett and I have plans that night. We have a date. Hot date.
We have a date.
Oh.
Yes. We do.
Gotta go see a show together.
Go see a show. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
Let's see. Tomorrow we have the Nooner. I'll be working on that. And then gaming. Getting back to gaming. I have my full PC here, so I could actually do everything I need to do. You know how hard it is to work on an ironing board with a laptop? Very difficult.
I've done it. I've actually, I've had to use an ironing board. I've recorded videos with ironing boards.
Yeah.
In a hotel
it's very shaky and it's very uncomfortable and my back hurts. So yeah. Anyways. Ooh, hi Melissa. But there was another super chat here, or a rant. Seamus Warren for $1 says China is more grassroots democratic than corporate tyranny we call democracy. The West is a socialism for the billionaire class and poverty or rugged individualism for the rest of us.
Yep.
You Seamus. And Aurora Uplinks for $2 says I miss Stargate and hope Amazon makes a food series. Good series, I think.
A good series if they remake it. I would just say enjoy what you had and don't let Amazon get fucking near it.
Yes. And I have actually one thing to announce. So we do have an affiliate link for Cosmic Summit if you guys are interested.
I don't use Honey Ink. Get rid of your honey. If there's a
don't ever use that shit
in your browser, get rid of it. They are, by the way, owned by PayPal. Class action lawsuit happening. They've been. I don't use it. I don't like care.
I knew that shit was gonna be. It was shady, dude. There's no way you're just gonna get free discounts like that, and you're not the one that's getting sold.
All the content creators are because they were stealing the content creators' cut of the affiliate link, but they were also lying to you. They were telling you were getting. So go look it up. There's
watch the video.
Finding the best discount for you. They weren't. They were absolutely lying to you. So
CoffeeZilla.
Go watch CoffeeZilla. And by the way, the class action lawsuit is starting, and they are owned by PayPal.
Oh shoot!
Owned
no way.
PayPal. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Oh my god.
Owned by fucking PayPal. So back to Cosmic Summit.
We have an affiliate link, June 20th to June 23rd. We're going to be there in Greensboro, North Carolina. So if you are interested in going, you should definitely check it out. And I believe, I don't know. Never mind. Take it back.
Okay.
No.
Well, we're talking about like us possibly doing some sort of panel there. Like it's in talks. It's not for sure. But we will definitely be doing a podcast from there and interviews. We have a room, a podcast room that will be dedicated to us, and we'll do the interviews like we did last time, but we will be doing live ones as well. Maybe this time we can get Randall finally.
It was a missed opportunity. So close.
It was very close.
So
I just need to drag him next time.
We'll definitely get Hugh back. Hugh Newman. We love Hugh. He's a good guy. So he'll definitely come back. And Luke, I think, will be there too. So, and I think Michael, I'll talk to George. I like
Snake
George,
Bros,
if you're out there, bro, get Michael Collins there. If he's not like, if he's not like in Turkey or something, wherever, but get Michael Collins there. Yeah. So
we're gonna have a table there. We're gonna be there. So come on.
Snake Bros. I don't know if they'll be there or not.
Probably. I don't think they're gonna be there. I think
they're
not
there
that time. Yeah.
But they will be on this show, right? Soon.
Sometime soon. We're confirming. Soon.
We're working on
confirming.
Yeah. We're confirming a date, so they will be back on this show. We love the Snake Bros. Go give them a sub. They're good dudes. Good dudes. And Luke and Michael Collins of Wandering Wolf. Yeah. So thanks, Eric. Thanks to all the Nerdrotics out there doing fine work. Thanks to everyone in the chat who participated. Thanks for all the super chat donations and rants. Thanks to Rumble, because this show will probably be the only place.
This one's getting
Rumble might be. Yeah, this one's getting easy.
If it's not already.
If it's not already, I'm not even gonna fucking fight it. I don't even care. But I think this was a good show. I think it's a good topic. I love getting into this stuff. We'll be back to our regular Ancient Civilization UFO programming unless something else crazy happens. But huge show today. A lot of people showed up. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Become a traveler.
And we'll see you next week. Bye. Be well.
See ya.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.